Welcome to the lab where genetics collide. Reptiles everywhere with colors amplify. The morph so wild, they'll twist your mind. Patterns like art, every scale is defined. In the reptile world, we're raising the bar. Discover new genes, then combining them all. Creating foundations that make our brain shake. Insane combos that hit like an earthquake. Genetic canvas. Paint the dream. Make a dream where reptiles glow and the visions gleam. Tune in now, let's raise the ceiling. The best reptile podcast starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome everybody and thank you for joining us. This episode we are going to be going over a ton of new information and a ton of new mutations potentially. So the highlight of the episode is going to be the Masai mutation, which is proven to be allelic with ULTRAMEL, and we're going to really dive into some comparisons tonight and also talk about some other mutations like the Terminator, the Predator, and answer the question, does Bambino have a hitchhiker or did it originally? And I think we all are curious how the Bambino project has been coming along. So we're also going to get an update of some new combinations that have been produced, as well as how the older ones are progressing. And there's just so much to unpack this episode. It's going to be a really fun one, really exciting, maybe controversial, who knows? But I think that we dug up enough information to draw clear comparisons, and the work has been done to at least know that how it works, how the mutation works. So we're going to hear from the man behind that work today and really dive into it. But I'm Jared, your host of the Genetic Canvas, and I'm ready to get into it. So if you missed last week's episode, make sure you go back and catch the replay. We were covering the redhead mutation with some amazing guests, but if you did miss it, here's a quick recap to get you.
One is a black pastel redhead red stripe hurricane Batman.
Man, this is a confusing combo. Yeah, it has like a 6 or 7 genes in it. I have to check. It's also had DG.
That's crazy.
I'm still trying. I think it's an ODYB.
So shout out to Anthony, JP, and the guest hosts from last week. Make sure you guys go back and watch that episode, like it, and comment #ReplayGang so we know that you were there. And yeah, I'm really excited about this episode. An allelic mutation with ULTRAMEL is newer to the table. Last year, Patrick with Aura Reptiles had discovered the RUST mutation in his collection, which is a new mutation that's allelic with ULTRAMEL. And I know that they were able to map that out and provide a test pretty easily because of that allelic reaction with the ULTRAMEL. So hopefully one day we can see where the Masai and the Rust and everything really falls in testing, but tonight we're going to see how it falls visually, and that's going to be really exciting, especially from what I've already seen. So tonight we have a guest host joining us. We did have Val from White Feather Balls in the preview, but he had something that he had to take care of. So we reached out to Jamie with Tire God Morphs, and he said, yeah, I'm definitely down to jump on with you guys. So let's welcome him out tonight. How's it going tonight, Jamie?
Hey, how's it going? Pretty good.
Are you ready to find out what this mutation and all these other things are about tonight?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I try never to miss your show, and honestly, it's one of the first ones I've started watching when I decided I wanted to breed, and it's the tons of information that I try to just keep taking in and taking in and taking in, and just do half of what some of these guys are doing.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's the goal here. That's our journey, is just to get good information out there and kind of just put it on the table and let people decide in like situations like this where it's a new mutation, you know, we gotta kind of review it ourselves and make our own opinions. But a mutation that really interacts well, I think, speaks on its own. So it's gonna be a fun episode that we're getting into tonight. That's gonna be the baseline to go into this tonight. So I do have a small questionnaire for you. It's just a guest host questionnaire. And I just want to know first, what morph holds the biggest foundation in your projects?
Um, probably Pied,
Okay,
because
pied.
it hits a lot of the projects.
All right, that's a cool one. And what would be your favorite morph for contrast?
Um, probably a high OD or ultramale.
Okay,
'Cause I'm
nice.
more like it's a more of a broader thing for me, and I love both of them. So like if I
Hmm.
had them both in here, they would probably be both of my two favorite snakes.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you like that bright contrast though.
Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. So, is there any morph that you maybe didn't really care for at first and took you time to appreciate that you do like now?
After last week's episode, Redhead definitely.
Redhead,
I had
yeah.
no idea I would feel the way I do now at the beginning of that show.
Yeah, you were saying backstage that you were surprised of how you felt in the beginning. You were like, yeah, whatever, and by the end you were surprised. So that's a good one. What combination of recessives ultimately anchor like your long-term project?
Hypo Ultra Clown Pied.
Very nice. That's a very nice combination. And Ozzy is a big guy working, I think, the quad in that hypo
Yeah,
ultramel clown
that's
pied.
who my
Yep.
mail's from. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. So, last question. What inspired you? I mean, you kind of answered it already, but what inspired you to join us live on the podcast?
Yeah, just like I said, just all this information. I mean, not even not to mention when probably about a year ago when I was like afraid to talk to people. You were one of the first guys I started talking to on the phone, and just the vast information you can put out. I definitely try not to ever miss something you're talking about.
I appreciate that. So help me say what's up to everybody in the chats tonight before we really dive into everything. So we got Dickie in the house. We appreciate you joining us. We got Carl at SACMO. What's up, man? Third
Mitzi,
Coast
what's up?
Constructors in the house. Mitzi in the house. Appreciate you coming by tonight. Make sure you guys are dropping those comments, saying what's up to everybody. Drop your links in the chat so everybody can follow each other if you're not already. Phil and Kate, Heart of the Pythons. Travis in the house. Appreciate you coming out tonight. I know we're going to see a lot of people tonight because a lot of people are wondering, you know, what the heck is this mutation allelic with Ultramel? Because it sounds like Ultramel is becoming more of like a complex in a way. Slay in the building. Because if there's three mutations all allelic with each other, that would be a complex, you know? Let's see
Yeah, when I
here.
first came in and seen how many people were in here, I was kind of like, wow, this is gonna be a good episode.
Platinum Morphs in the house. Mark, Rat Bastard Royals, appreciate you. Let's see, Paul Clark in the building. New face in the house, appreciate you. Mike and Melissa, Proxima, how's it going tonight? Christopher Walker in the house, what's up?
C
Got
Dub.
Justin, Ozark Mountain Morphs, man with the Bambino here in the US. How's it going tonight, man? See who else we got here. We got Jamie saying what's up to everybody in the chats. Madeiran Marvel. What's up? How's it going tonight? If I said that wrong, sorry. Let's see. We got Bald Head Balls, Jeff in the building. How's it going tonight? Herp Collectors crew. Adrian in the building. How's it going tonight, man? Big Mike, Rammary's Royals in the building. I know you love some Ultramel and some allelic mutations. Who else we got? Spring Creek Serpents, Kenny in the building. TJ Hutch in the house. We appreciate you. Let's see, trying to get everybody. Say what's up to everybody tonight. Trans reptiles in the house. We got Pharaoh's Forbidden Scales. Appreciate you coming out. That's a new name in the house. Catalina Morph Mixer. Appreciate you guys. Let's see. We're gonna see. There's so many people cutting it up in the chat tonight. We appreciate you all coming out tonight. Let's see, we got James B. Easy in the building. How's it going, man? Appreciate you. So let's end it there. We appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Drop a comment, drop a question. We'll pull it up. We'll say what's up. We'll get it answered for you. But let's get this banner up here. So just like Jamie here, guest hosting opportunities are available for the genetic canvas. Just comment seat taken, throw a hashtag in front of it to make it blue to make it easier for me to see. So hashtag seat taken, and we'll put you on the list for guest hosting a future episode with me. Just having fun talking snakes, getting questions answered, and yeah, just getting a lot of inspiration. That's what we try to do here. So I think typically we would go through like some other things, creative lens and genetic appraisal, but we have so much to go through as far as mutations tonight that we're going to welcome our guest out. So the man behind all the mutations tonight is known pretty well across the industry. Let's welcome Mills from the Reptile Pit. How's it going tonight, man?
How you doing, buddy? How you guys doing?
Good.
Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure being on. How's everything
So,
going there?
yeah, everything's going really well. I'm interested to really, I guess, show off because I've seen, most of these mutations that we're about to talk about, but I'm excited to see what people think. Definitely impressing from what I've seen, and it's gotten me excited. So that, in my opinion, I don't care. That means a lot because I've seen a lot. So tell us about the Maasai mutation and the female import, and just kind of give us a little backstory on that before we show that off.
Yeah. So I found the Maasai out of Africa about 10 years ago now, and she actually came in gravid. She was actually a girl that I never bought as a gravid girl out in the wild. She was only about 1,300 grams when she came in, and I didn't expect her to be gravid or anything at all. And she came in, and she soon after she came in, she laid a clutch of 3 eggs, and they were all just straight heads. Obviously, they could be carrying something else, but I had those babies and brought them up and bred them together, and actually proved that out, proved out that it was genetic and the Maasai was actually a recessive morph. I could see from the beginning when I got shown the morph from Africa that it was different from Ultramel. It was much deeper in color. The actual outlines around the saddles were a rich red kind of color. Kind of like if you've ever been to Africa, like the earth in Africa. Well, I have been to the Maasai tribe before, and what they build their huts out of and everything else, the mud is like a clay color. It's really
Yeah,
beautiful.
like the red sand turned into
Exactly.
clay.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So it reminded me of that. And so that's where the name came from. Maasai, I thought,
Gotcha.
come from Africa. It looks like something out of the Maasai tribe. It's got that deep red color. So hence the name Maasai.
Awesome. Well, let's pull that picture up of that import female so that everybody can get the visual on that color, because I do believe that this picture shows that off really well. So in the highlights were the flash, because that is a flash photograph, correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So yeah, so
Back
in the
then I was,
highlights where the flash is highlighting it, that's where you can really see that kind of reddish, sandish clay coloration. And it's such a clean tone inside of the alien heads, and It seems kind of consistent or inconsistent with keyholes.
Yeah, like that's what really
Does it
drew me
always
to it.
have does it always
So,
have reduced keyholes?
absolutely, yeah. Everything that I produced as pure Masai has been really reduced in the keyholes. Hardly any keyholes in them. It's really heavily saddled. The color stays that deep red color as well. So it was pretty different, and everyone thought it was going to be the same as Monarch or Burgundy. But as it transpires, it's not, which is what we're going to delve into, I guess, in this show.
Yeah.
It's actually
And
nothing of the same.
in that picture, is she on just that first clutch of the 3 or 4 eggs that you said she laid?
Yeah, the first and only clutch that she laid. Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, after she laid that clutch, soon after she passed. I suppose all the stress from moving and then having that clutch and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's a lot of stress.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, and
it's
it's
taken a lot
unfortunate
longer.
to lose like the main animal early, just but you did have the offspring which carried it on and proved it out to be recessive. And where did you take the project after you got the visuals? Was the picture that you sent me of the 3 babies together, what clutch was that? Was that a clutch later on?
That was the first clutch that came from the original babies that
The
hatched. So
hets.
that was from the
Okay.
heads. Yeah, yeah.
And how many visuals to non-visuals did you get in that pairing
The
of
the clutch
the
was 5, so we had got good odds.
3
So
and
there was
2?
3 visuals and 2 heads from it. Yeah,
That's amazing odds.
yeah,
Here, I'm
and it
gonna
was
get that
1.2 as
pulled up.
well.
So I'm
Yeah,
gonna show off the one in the flash first, the flash of the camera first, and that relates more so to the color of the other one that was shown in the flash as it aged, where it lost more of the oranges in the alien heads, but you can see the reduction of the keyholes more so. And you get, like you said, more of that burgundy-ish coloration in the negative space where the blacks or the purples would be more lavender on a regular ultramel.
yeah, exactly, exactly. It's much more deeper, and the pattern's a lot thicker as well. Even the back stripe is pretty thick as well. Uh,
Yeah, it seems like it doesn't want to connect to the actual alien heads at all either. Like where it drops down, it still doesn't connect to an alien head, I notice.
yeah,
So let me pull up the other picture, and this is the same 3 animals in the light, I believe. Let me see. Oh wait, I gotta remove this one, sorry. And then this one. So that one shows a better transition of that light of the sun piercing through that negative space where the purples, kind of showing you more of that natural tone of those purples.
yeah. I mean, this is way back when as well. I mean, I'm not great at taking pictures today, but I was pretty terrible at taking pictures back then.
Yeah, but I think that when I do this here, we're gonna see very easily that this is very much different than an ultramel. So this is an ultramel outside.
Wow.
So that's an ultramel outside. This is an ultramel inside of a light box. So you take that and you compare that and it's darker. It's still in the same color realm, but the negative areas are darker purple. And the color is a little bit more rich orange as well. At least that's what I'm noticing. Is that what you noticed over time, or how do they age as far as the color retention?
Yeah, the color retention is great. It actually gets a bit deeper in color as they age. They really the areas around the alien heads get a lot darker as they age. It's a great morph. Really, it's beautiful. And
Yeah, I think that that's really awesome.
Yeah, a couple of things that
Yeah.
I'll show you today as
Even
well.
Will says, we got comments there. It says that it looks more monarch than ultramel, and that's where when we pull up the comparisons to the Rust, because shout out to Patrick at Aura, he sent over some pictures of the Rust mutation that's also allelic with the Ultramel, and I think that that's really going to open a lot of people's eyes to what the allelic mutations could look like, because this Masai mutation appears to be the middle ground between the Rust and the Ultramel, whereas the Rust is even darker. And this is kind of in the middle. So I'm gonna just pull up let's see here, layers. We're gonna get the Masai single by itself right here, because this is a great representation in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting. It's got a lot more color to it. Let's put that one there and get this one up. And this one you just recently shared on your story on Instagram. Now, is this how big is this about in grams? Like 400 grams or smaller?
No, it's about I'd say it's about 100, 120 grams to the
Oh,
baby,
okay.
and that's a combo. So that's not
Okay.
straight. So that's the first combo that I've made so far.
And what is the combo here?
It's a blackhead Masai red and ringer.
I'm sorry, say it again.
It's a blackhead Masai red and ringer. When you see it, my
Oh,
picture
okay.
again isn't fantastic, but when you see it in the flesh in a bit, then you'll see that it is really got real depth in the color. Blackhead just the
I
dark
was
morph.
wondering why it was much darker in the in the negative space around the pattern. So that kind of makes sense. But this pattern is really overpowering on that blackhead. Like you said, it thickened it all up and fattened it all up.
Exactly, yeah. It seems to just it seems to be very dominant pattern, and that's great, because I like those thick, rich saddles, with all that color in it, and then you can
We're back, Jamie.
mess about with the negative space, as you said. So I think that's really, really interesting, and I think that's really good. I think you can mess about with the color tones in a great way because you've already got a pattern and a color mutation in itself in that one animal. In essence, everything, unless there's going to be something that really disrupts it. Obviously, I want to see something that can disrupt it really well, and there's going to be morphs that will be able to disrupt it. But I love the way the pattern is working on top of the color.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and just address this question here. Has the Maasai been tested against Ultramel or Monarch? And you've done the breeding, correct?
I've done the breeding, but yeah, I've done the breeding, so I know what the results are. Yeah, and
Hmm.
the cross is very different. So it's as different as if I can compare it to like albino and candy. So candy color complex is way different from the albino. When they come
And this
together
is a
and
good
merge,
comparison here. While you're talking about it, I'll pull it up.
yeah, that's perfect.
So the top one there, go ahead and break it down for us.
So the top one is a straight Masai, and the bottom one is a straight Ultramel. So they're both, as you can see, pretty similar in size.
Yeah.
And I think, you see that that's quite a traditional Ultramel in pattern and color.
Yeah,
Um,
and the color of the Maasai, you can say it's closer to a Monarch, but it's nowhere near Monarch. Monarch has a super unique, like sandy tan alien head coloration with like that dark maroon kind of coloration, like almost like you still get those blacks almost in the Monarch stuff.
yeah,
So it's not there. It's still, I can tell it still looks like it's in the ultramel complex with how it's bleeding that yellow goldish coloration through that negative space, creating the reddish sand tone like you're saying.
exactly. Exactly that. Yeah. And so I think, you know, my friend has actually brought an Ultramel and a Monarch down specifically for this show as well, so we can see the difference live today. If you guys want to do that, then
Okay.
yeah, my friend who's on Madeira Pythons, Charlie, is thankfully brought them down, so
Yeah.
we can see that visually. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
So
that'll be
pretty
important.
lucky he managed to come down last minute and do that for us. So I think
Oh yeah.
this way we can see all the three next to each other and how they differ from one another.
The three, you mean what? The Ultramel,
And
the
the
Masai, and then the double?
No, the Ultramel, the Masai, and the Monarch.
Oh, the
So
Monarch, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that'll be a good comparison. And then you also said that you have the double visual Ultramel Masai, right?
I do.
So
Yeah,
that could be a four snake comparison to really kind of shine light on that. So
yeah.
that'll be really awesome. So speaking of the shout out that I gave to Patrick at Chimera, I want to show off the Rust single gene now. And this is proven allelic and developed a test already. Is it up? I don't know if there it is. So what do you think about that?
I actually love it. I love the depth in the color.
I
Um,
love how dark it is. It's
yeah,
almost black. It's so dark.
yeah. It's
And it's
it's
like the
different.
total extreme opposite spectrum of an ultramel, you know? So like that's what I'm saying. Like this is like the darkest and like it still has the richest, I'd say, oranges. And then the Masai is like the middle ground between this and ultramel. And then the ultramel is the brightest.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that this has got alien heads, and the Ultramar has got alien heads, and they're on the opposite spectrums. And the Masai in the middle hasn't got alien heads, and it's kind of like in
This one's
between,
kind of
but it's
half and
not in
half because
between.
down by like halfway to the tail, it's reduced, and halfway up towards the head, it's busy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So let me do, oh yeah, we're gonna save those for a little bit. So yeah, that's the rust, and then I'm just gonna pull up the Masai single just so that you guys can recap that. Let me close this one. So there you go. So that's the Masai single, and that's the rust single. So I would say they're not the same.
Yeah.
And if
I'd
they're
say
all allelic, it would form a complex, three different mutations.
so. When you say that the Masai is more kind of blocky as well in the pattern, and
Yeah,
more
and
kind of chunky
Ultramel,
blocky.
like when you get into true Ultramel, I feel like true Ultramel kind of leans away into that, but not as much. But yeah, I definitely see the blockiness to the mass size shape of the alien head. It's more squared off a lot of the time.
Yeah. The
So
head blotching
let's.
is interesting on all of them as well.
So why don't you go ahead and grab us some snakes so that we can see these things live now? And I'm gonna catch up with these comments real quick, see what people are saying over here because I think this is one of the most interesting things to come out this year.
Very
Is
good.
this Masai?
Uh,
Okay, we're past that.
yeah. I'm going to
Let's
bring the
see
Massa
here.
out first on its own, and then we'll bring out the other two. Yeah, I'll bring the Massa now.
Okay,
I'll be back in about half an hour.
so yeah, and I know that the Burgundy was proven to not be allelic with Ultramel or Monarch, correct? I mean, if I'm wrong, but that's what I recall as Burgundy was its own mutation. And is that the one that Corey Woods was working up in Canada. I can't remember, but there was another one that Corey Woods was working up there that is not allelic with either of them. So produces a visual showing combination of both hets. Yep, that's what it means for allelics. What's up, everybody? Love the darkness. Which one do you love the darkness on? Because now we got two of them, the Rust and the Masai. What are your thoughts, Jamie? You're so quiet over there. How you doing?
I definitely like the Masai better.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah.
Just for the coloration that it
Yeah,
keeps,
I
I
think the
guess.
coloration is doing it because of how much I like the ultramale and then the
Thanks, Mike and Melissa. The maple up in Canada with Corey Woods is the mutation that is similar looking, and that one's probably, if I had to guess, it's probably going to be similar to the burgundy because both of those mutations, the maple and the burgundy, aren't proving out to be in the complex of ultramel or monarch. So that'll be interesting to see that all play out through testing and breeding, if anybody's even doing that now
burgundy
going
monarch
forward.
double head.
See, I know someone who paired a burgundy to a monarch and got double heads. Yeah, so that's what I heard as well. And Justin from Ozark says everything needs Bambino. And I couldn't agree more, Justin. I mean, you're the man over here on our side that can really pump it out, but I know you're going to take it slow and do it the right way and be methodical. So we appreciate that. And I can't
Yes,
wait to see what you're going to be producing this year. Everybody, make sure you're following Justin at Ozark Mountains if you're trying to keep up with some hot Bambino mutation combos.
send me one over here and I'll let you know.
Yeah, I corrected it. I said everything. He's all right. Let me blow you up there, Mills. I was just finishing saying what's up to the chat.
Is that too close?
You can go back a little bit.
In person, it looks even better in person.
Yeah, yeah. And then go back towards the edge of the table a little bit more. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Up a
Is that
little bit
okay? Or
more so that you don't get the shadow would be good.
might be easier if you just take it off. Oh yeah.
Flip it around, Mills, so that you can see what you're showing us. So
Flip it
hit the
around.
three lines, on the bottom right, hit settings,
I think it is.
and
Hold on.
then
It'd be easier if we do this. Yeah.
you hear
Good.
me?
Yeah. Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. I got it. Go.
Do you want to flip the camera or you just want to do it that way?
Flip the camera. It's already facing towards me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you mean
No, I mean you can flip the camera so you can just hold it and show the snake off instead of holding the snake up in front of the camera.
okay. Okay.
So at the bottom right, hit the three lines and then hit settings and then scroll underneath your face and hit the drop down menu and hit back camera and just choose the most cameras, whether it's single, double, triple, just whatever the most is. Back camera.
Three lines. Settings.
Go under your picture.
Okay, yeah. I'm not facing front.
And then just choose the back camera, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you can see what you're showing us. It'll be a
Okay.
little easier.
Does that come out okay?
Yeah, I think it works.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Lighting is always a thing when you're showing snakes off live, but that's why we did the pictures first, so that everybody can get good representation and different lighting of the photographs.
It's just because the scale's so big as well. So it's a bit difficult. But yeah. So this is one of the big girls, but I don't know if you can see the colors or anything. I'm trying to get it out, so it's
I mean, yeah, you can see them. I feel like maybe they're a little washed just from the lighting, but like
Yeah,
I said, that's why we showed the pictures kind of first.
it
But
is
when you
definitely
pull out
washed.
the comparison, it's gonna be night and day, I think, even with the lighting. So,
Yeah, no, definitely the lighting is washing it
what's up,
out.
DJ?
I'm just trying to get away from my shadow or something. But yeah, that's
There you go. That's the perfect side
there we
right
go.
there.
Okay.
There, that's the best lighting.
Okay, yeah. So you can see like in round or the negative, it is pretty dark, you know. And
Yeah.
then we've got if you want me to show an ultramel next to it.
It definitely like if you would say how a candy or a toffee would like be like more of a lavender albino as it's younger and then ages and kind of caramelizes. Now, this doesn't age and caramelize or anything as much, but I feel like that reddish tone comes out almost like a caramelization.
You see it. And then in comparison to an ultramel, we've got an ultramel over here. So you can see the color difference in an ultramel. Oh, I'll hold it on this side. Yeah, trying to juggle snakes around.
Oh, I know it's even harder with the bigger snakes.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so there's an ultramel next to a Masai there, so you can see the difference in the color.
all right,
As you
let's
said,
back
there's
the
a
camera up because we don't have them both in frame.
yeah. Is that better?
A little bit. You, they're just so big you can't see them. I can't even see the Masai in frame. But yeah, you can see. You can't. Oh, yeah, you can do that. That works.
Yeah.
That actually works a lot better. Typically that doesn't work, but that did for some reason. Oh, because it's an iPad or a tablet. That's why. Yeah,
So
roll in that view from now on. That's really good.
and the difference in the head stamp as well is quite interesting.
Yeah, it seems more blushed out all the way towards the front of the eyes, like past the eyes on the
Yeah.
Maasai. And can we get the Ultramel just for comparison, the head stamp?
Yeah. I'm gonna try and get them all in a shot. Now this is a juggling act if you've ever had one, isn't it? Bet you never had this on a show before. Jeez. And before anyone asks, no, I'm not going to juggle snakes. Jeez.
Oh no, no, no. That guy was crazy. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
Jay, somebody already got in trouble for that.
And that's Ultra. Monarch, sorry.
And then the Monarch on top there. Yeah,
Yeah.
the real dark. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And you can see how the Monarch has more of that khaki tannish coloration to its alien heads, and these
Yeah.
mutations that are allelic with the Ultramel all still have that orange in their alien heads, you know?
But that might help.
It's like it's just a little different. It's really cool.
So hopefully that helps people see the difference between the three pattern and color
Hold them
between the
straight
three.
on, like turn towards the camera straight on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's a perfect lighting there. Yep. You can see how much redder the Maasai is, even in the alien heads right there.
Yeah. Oops.
That's beautiful.
There we go. I'm trying to
Crazy.
get all the backs together, kind of at the same place. They're all just moving around so much.
No, that's you're doing great. Monarch, I mean, it's one of my favorite mutations, and seeing the Maasai and the Rust, it's like, gosh, I want them all.
I'll definitely take that mask off.
Monarch looks much reduced out of the three. Yeah, I would say so. Especially in the alien heads, the keyholes are missing a lot more on the Monarch stuff.
I would say though, this example of this monarch is a very good one. Charlie from Attila, he really does pick his animals very well. He doesn't have a massive collection, but every one of his animals he picks, he spends a lot of time picking the correct examples. So that is a beautiful example. I wouldn't be surprised if that has something like blade in it. Looking at the back of it, it looks like it's got that type of
Yeah,
blade.
the Monarch could have blade, I
Yeah,
agree.
yeah,
Especially with how thick the dorsal is, yeah.
yeah.
And
It's
the eye bands are
beautiful.
real thick too. You can see
Got a
that.
beautiful example. It's even got some greens in it, you know?
Yeah, that's beautiful. All right, well, let's go on to the next one. What do you want to show us next?
I don't know. I think I need a tea break after this.
So we have let's see the Ultramel Masai ALS Super.
Okay, let me
Because I
go
think
grab that.
everybody's curious what the Allelic combination looks like.
Okay, I'm gonna put these guys back, and then I'm gonna grab that. I'm just gonna put the phone back in. No, actually, I'm not because
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Take your time. Just so that everybody joining us tonight knows, this is going to be a lengthy episode. We do have a lot of mutations to go over tonight, and it's a lot to unpack. There's a lot of animals to show off, but let me see here while he's doing that. I'm going to give you guys another rust mutation so that you guys can see what this rust gene is doing. And again, shout out to Patrick at Chimera. So what we have here is, take a guess, Jamie. Are you there?
Yeah. I'm looking. Is there blackhead in it?
Yes. So this is
Besides,
the
besides the rust?
blackhead rust het for piebald.
Wow, that's nice.
Super interesting for that to be allelic, with Ultramel, because it looks less allelic with Ultramel than the Masai even does. It interacts so well with the dark tones in the blackhead, and it really gives way for the pattern of the blackhead to even shine through, whereas the Masai blackhead um, that Mills suspects has more pattern dominance, which I'm curious if it is a blackhead or not. It does have the darker tones in the negative space and everything, so curious to see that one in person and really see the blackhead influences in it. But that animal right there is amazing as far as the rust gene goes, and super excited to see what comes out of the camp over there, Aura with that rust mutation. Are you
what's
back,
that?
Mills?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'd just like
Okay.
to quickly give a shout out again to Charlie from Attila Depun Reptiles, who came and brought the stuff
Hi
down.
guys.
Charlie's come all the way
Appreciate you, bro.
down from
Thank you guys.
North London to bring those two snakes down, and as he pointed out, yeah, that is a first that has ever been done. I don't think anyone's ever been able to do that before, to have those three morphs together in situ,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's awesome. And we appreciate you making the drive and getting out there. That's a
So
surprise. So,
it's an honor to be here, to be honest. Such many experts. I know I'm going to learn a lot tonight anyway, so just grateful for the chance.
heck yeah, beautiful animals. You
Thank you.
do a great job picking out the quality.
Yeah, you have to spend time. You can't just grab, the first thing you see. You got to spend time, and then you know exactly how
Mm-hmm.
it's going to go. There's so much variation in the same gene. So many
So
lines of the
both of
same
you
thing.
guys, sorry, both of you guys get over here and look at the screen real quick, because I just showed off the rust blackhead for the viewers. I want you guys to see it. So let me pull it up there. So that's the rust blackhead,
Wow.
and it's het
Okay.
for piebald.
It's totally different from
Yeah, and with yours, I mean, from when you first said it had blackhead, I was like, really, because it didn't have much in the photo. It didn't have much indication that it was blackhead in the pattern. So that's interesting, I want to see that one in person for sure.
Yeah, we'll pull that out next if that's cool with you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
This one's going to be a bit more manageable, I think. So only the one. Yeah.
And you
So
can turn your iPad, your tablet vertical. It'll be a better view, I think.
like that. Oh,
No, like vertical, like normal.
okay. Okay. I'll let you do it. You do it. You know what you're doing.
So
Yeah,
that's
I'm
the double
terrible.
visual, huh?
Yeah, look how different it is. I mean, totally different color, totally different pattern. You wouldn't even believe that, Masai was really in it. Unless you saw that head stamp. It's got that very
Top down.
distinguished head stamp,
Yeah, yeah. Almost like the blushing of like the vanilla mutation in the
Yeah,
head.
exactly. Exactly. But
But it's not erased, it's just how it goes forward and spreads out between the eyes. Like it just takes it a lot further forward.
yeah. And then as you can see, there's a lot more alien heads and keyholes in the saddles as well. So it's a lot more, and the
Oh
color's
yeah,
much
it's
more
more
subdued as well.
animated in that way.
Yeah. So I'd say like this is like a
It's got more
Candino.
whites coming up the sides of the alien heads too, where the Maasai
Yeah.
doesn't really have the whites.
Yeah. And
They're
a bit
more
of
color influenced.
yellowy greeny hues coming in there as well.
Oh yeah, you can see that.
I mean, I wouldn't be too upset with the mix either, but I want to work more now on keeping the Masai pure. I relinquished the questions that I had
Yeah,
with what its compatibility is, and find out that it's compatible with Ultramel. Honestly, really shocked me. I really expected it to be compatible with uh,
what everybody thinks it looks closer to.
exactly, yeah, the Monarch or the Burgundy or the Burguignon. Very
Yeah,
clean
that's
belly as
awesome.
well. But it's really got a lot of these green-like speckling coming up from the belly, which is interesting.
Yeah, like the highlighter markings.
Yeah, this one's also a het clown as well.
So do me a favor, compare that one because it's a little bit more manageable. Compare that one to the Maasai
The
itself.
original Masai.
Yes.
All right,
I
hold on,
think
give me a
that's the
second.
comparison we need because we can see the difference from Ultramel.
Okay, yeah. All right, I'm going to leave this on the table, and I'm going to come back up in a second.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it for you.
Make sure you tell it to behave.
Yeah. So what do you think about that, Jamie? That's pretty interesting. It's like the Maasai color palette, but it's blonder with the
Yeah.
influence of the Ultramel.
Like, and the weird thing is, like, I have a pastel lesser that is like that same type of color palette. Not like that extreme, but like just the things like different combinations do to make the colors different is just unreal.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and it's like, if you go back to, and it's not allelic, but if you look at like the caramel albino ultramel, the Camarillo, like that looks nothing like these ALS combos. Like um even the ALS combo of the rust and the ultramel, like it doesn't, we're getting into a whole different realm of allelic possibilities now. And I'm working the hypo that has the ALS to the common line. Now we have the ultramel complex that's coming together, it looks like. It's just the future's bright.
Yeah, yeah. It like looked like there wasn't enough morphs to already try and keep track of.
Yeah. And this was a harder one to see, I guess, but you can definitely, I think if you do the over your hand side by side, it'll be a better lighting. But the Maasai is just like a tone or two, just richer.
Is that
Yeah,
better?
even the single one I liked a lot.
Yeah, they look good. Can you hold them up in your hands for us? I think that the color correction will be better.
Does that make a difference?
Slightly. It's just like the double visual version it's just that slight hint tone blonder and cleaner. It's not
Yeah.
really crazy different, but the cleanliness is there, like how sharp and clean the alien heads are inside as opposed to the granularness of the Masai inside.
I think the pattern is the main difference, as well as the color. Like you can see the color difference. It's not massively different, but inside the saddles,
Yes.
it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot. It's a lot like lighter on the mix than the Masai. The Masai is overall a lot darker, but I have to say the mix has these kind of crazy yellowy greeny patches on them,
Yeah,
which
the
the
little
Masai
flames of
doesn't have.
highlights coming up from that
Yeah,
ultramel influence. I could see that.
exactly. Yeah, but the
And
pattern
that,
is
just like I
definitely.
said, plays into that blonde coloration coming in more with the mix.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's nothing crazy to where it's like, do you want to work the ALS combo? It's like I would work it pure just for that contrast.
yeah.
But
I mean, I'm
going
gonna.
deeper into combos, just like how Super Leopard has kind of been showing some differences, if you get really deep genetically with the Masai and then cross it up with Ultramel with those same deep genetics, then you may get a really big difference with the
Yeah,
cleanliness and the blondes and that color play into other combos. So it's not like something we're saying it's not worth working. We're saying that right now, because it's so new, you want to work the pure version first.
absolutely. Yeah, the head
Look at
sounds
that.
quite. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a really good comparison of the head because it really shows how much that color is burning and coming through on the double.
but yeah. And there is differences, and when you see these in the flesh, when you come down to the UK this year, hey, when you see these in flesh,
I
then you'll
got
be able
my
to
passport. Who knows?
exactly, you
I'm
know.
not a felon, at least.
um, yeah, you can see
I,
them in
I
the
had
flesh.
to go. It was like a nerve-wracking thing to get my passport because I'm just like, oh God, did I do anything? Am I on any lists that I don't know about?
Well, you found out pretty fast, hey.
Yeah, that I'm super good to go.
Yeah. The other interesting thing about the Maasai is the eye is black. I mean, there is hints of red in it, but in the
Like the
main, it's
pupils
very,
are
very
red,
dark.
but the
Yeah,
overall is darker.
yeah.
Interesting. We got people in the chat saying, they love your rings.
We're talking snakes and they like the rings.
It's a snake ring, though, to be fair. No, great
Thank you.
comparisons tonight for these. That's amazing. So do you want to get into some of these Masai combos? What do you
Yeah.
have to show for combos?
I've got the blackhead, and then I've got some hets that look a bit more unusual than you would expect them to look, if that makes any
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All
shall
right.
I?
Well, let's dive into those before we really shift this whole entire episode.
Okay. So do you want me to bring out the hets first or the blackhead first?
Go ahead and bring out the blackhead first, because that's a comparison to that other one that I'm really interested in.
All right. You're gonna make me do a lot of exercise today, hey?
Yeah, yeah. I did a lot of legwork getting this episode ready.
We'll do that
No,
one.
I'm just messing with you. But tell us what you think in the comments. What are you guys thinking in the comments? Dwight the Pie Man says it looks like some OD influence. I can agree. It looks like there's some influence of that cleanliness in that double. Um, not Orange Dream though, because Orange Dream would really intensify that richness and those whites coming up from the belly. So I didn't really like see any indications or things that made me think anything like that. Probably the lights in the camera. I think it has to maybe do with that pattern strength of the Masai because it seems pretty consistent to be more kind of like blocky and rounded off and chunky of a pattern. So we'll see. Definitely interested to see what these combos look like and dive into that blackhead Masai, especially with the blackhead rust comparison because either it has something else going on or that Masai mutation pattern is just super incredibly strong. And it did translate into the double visual as well with that chunky block here pattern. So it'll be interesting to see. Mills in his little legs, jogging up and down the stairs. I know I'm a horrible person. Like a Melissa say, some similarities to the cryptic ultramel. Well, detail what similarities exactly you mean. So I personally am like a huge fan of Monarch, and after seeing the Masai and the Rust, it's like, again, I definitely want to work a little bit of both of those mutations one day. Probably not anytime soon, but appreciate you, Dwight. Appreciate that nice comment. I just try to break it down for y'all and just try to give you the best comparisons verbally as possible so that you can kind of, draw your own opinions on descriptors and become a little bit more well versed in what we see in these traits. And I try to pick things apart where, you have your head stamp designers, you have your head shape designers, you have your pattern designers, your pattern manipulators, your color influencers, your color restrictors, your pattern magnifiers, your pattern restrictors, your amplifiers, your minimizers. There's so many little details to every single mutation that makes up how it interacts in other combos. It's important to detail, So I appreciate you all enjoying the show, and let's see what these snakes look like.
So this is the
Oh yeah,
Masai blackhead red and
you
ringer.
can definitely see the spacing, the blushing between the alien heads. You can definitely see the blackhead wanting to squeeze those alien heads together more, shooting that blushing and the flames up higher. But it has so much dorsal pattern for a blackhead.
Exactly, and also all the
What the heck?
blackhead as alien heads is very strong, dominant color and pattern morph. Where
Yeah,
the
so in the
alien heads,
picture I could not see blackhead at all, but now I definitely see blackhead influences, but that Masai is so powerful, or, I mean, that's crazy.
and it looks totally different to the blackhead rust. I mean,
Yeah, the rust didn't overpower the blackhead's dominance and pattern.
it seems to be dominating. I mean, I can't wait to see this in Bambino. You just touched on Bambino, but yeah, we're going down that this year, to make the hex anyway.
That almost looks like, okay, so pattern-wise, that looks similar more so to the shape of the patterns to your Dark Angel stuff.
Yep, that's right. 110%, bro.
Yep.
110%.
Like
Yeah.
that's the shape of the pattern and everything that like the Dark Angel is alone.
And then it's got the keys and everything else and the pattern on the
Weird.
back. Yeah, I mean, imagine Dark Angel and Blackhead on top of this. Like it'll be crazy.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love how dark the purples got from it too. And
Yeah.
that's the one thing that really shot out in the picture where I was like, it did have the darker tones like Blackhead would influence. While you were gone, I was like, but we gotta see if this thing is Blackhead.
Yeah.
No,
Like
I agree though. It definitely has it.
and a crazy belly. It's got pattern
It
on the belly
has
as well.
something.
Yeah. Oops, I'm creating a shadow.
You could say the pattern looks kind of more mahogany too.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually more like I'm being told I'm creating a shadow. I think it's actually lighter in the video than it actually is in person. You know, it's much darker in person. I mean, I can't see the video while I'm doing
Oh,
this.
I see it, and in comparison to the other animals that you were showing, it definitely shows the contrast.
Yeah,
It's
and you
much
can see,
darker, more like the monarch, you know?
and this is
Yeah.
red and ringer as well, which is obviously gonna highlight it to being a bit brighter as well. But I like that anyway. You know, you can see
Yeah.
the ringer gene there. You
And
can't see the red
okay,
gene
so
so much.
the red gene could definitely be interacting with the pattern because red gene likes to play into like squaring off pattern and chunking it up a little.
Yeah, but the ringer gene is really high expression on this. The red gene you can't see it in the dorsal as much because it's so heavily patterned. And this is the keys as well, the little keys on the back, but not. I don't really see any
What up,
keys on the
Sean?
saddles at all. You know, there's a couple here, but nothing much at all. It's all just blocks, just
Yeah,
all
I like
saddles.
it.
Yeah, I like it a lot, man.
I still want you to prove to me it's blackhead eventually. I want to
And
see a blackhead pop out of that thing.
oh, it's definitely
Is that a
blackhead.
boy or girl?
It's a boy.
Oh, okay. So sooner than later. Okay.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
gonna
that
be.
everybody watching is kind of still feeling that same way. Like, all right, I definitely want to see that prove as a blackhead.
Oh, it's definitely blackhead.
Yeah.
It's
It's
definitely
just
blackhead.
so overpowering of a pattern, and that's where the controversy would be if there is any, because the pattern dominance
Yeah,
would, like I was saying, it makes it look more like the dark angel or like a mahogany-ish kind of shape to the blockingness of the pattern. But
yeah,
I don't disbelieve you. I'm just saying I can't wait to see it prove me and prove you right. Well, prove you
yeah.
right and prove me wrong, I guess, because I'm not necessarily doubting it. I'm just saying that I could see why someone may doubt it.
I mean, in the breeding there was Mojave as well, and initially I thought there might be Mojave in it, but yeah, I'm pretty damn sure there's no Mojave in this. You know.
No, I agree because Mojave Blackhead really shrinks and floats up those
Yeah,
alien heads and
yeah.
reduces it a lot.
But one of
And
the
it's
breedings,
definitely not just Mojave.
yeah, exactly, yeah. And one of the first breedings that I'm going to be doing with this guy is, well, it's going to be a few breedings, but I'm going to try and shoot for the super blackhead version with this, with the possibility of hitting hypo as well, because this guy's possible hit hypo as well.
Yeah, that'll be nice. And I don't remember who I was speaking to. Maybe it was you, about the Monarch and Hypo. Oh no, I was actually speaking about it earlier on the TikTok show that I was on. Um, I have a project where I'm going to be eventually crossing Monarch into my Hypo DG Clown project, but my Hypo DG Clown project has so many dark mutations that it's going to interact differently than people would think with the hypo monarch, because hypo monarch isn't a real direction early to take because it gets too close to the ultramel realm of things, in my opinion. So I like to take my monarch to the contrast and keep that color. And yeah, the hypo with the blackhead, chocolate, leopard, confusion type stuff, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
And I think that that's going to be the key here is the dark mutations with the hypo and the Masai.
I mean, hypo is one of my favorite recessives, so I'm going to work it, but I definitely, one of the first recessives that I went into with the Masai was hypo because I think it'll work so well, you know. I love the hypo ultramel stuff. And I think it'll work beautifully with this. I mean, what do the guys out there think? What would people out there put a Masai with if they had a
Right
Masai
here is a
regulator.
comment for you. We have Mega Melissa asking if you have or would put it to spot nose or cypress.
Yes, I would, of course. That'll probably be next year rather than
So
this year.
27.
Yeah. Because I've got to get a couple of other founding bits in because I'll put it into. I haven't got any Cypress, but spot nose. I'll probably go down the spot nose clown line of it, but I've got a few other projects lined up for the Masai first, which hopefully we'll be able to show on another show down the line this year, towards the end of this year, with the progress with the Masai, and keep tabs on it. But it's a great suggestion. Thanks, Mike and Melissa.
We got
Yeah, definitely
our
want to do
buddy
that.
Justin in the comments, and he did not hit us with Bambino this time. He said chocolate.
Oh, chocolate. Yes, please. I'll have some. What flavor?
Yes.
No, yeah, yeah. I haven't got any chocolate either, but I'm sure we can work that as well. I know Justin's got some great chocolate stuff out there. We're due to do a shipment back and forth pretty soon. So yeah, we're going
What
to
do you
get
think
some stuff
about
on.
some trick hurricane?
Yeah, that's on the agenda, definitely. You know, it's
Is that
definitely
this
on the
season?
agenda.
What kind of mutations are you adding this season?
Well, we're gonna have to keep that under the hat for now. You know me, I
Fair
keep
enough,
things
fair
under the
enough.
hat until we do it. So yeah, we're
We
gonna keep.
got one teaser. Super Blackhead Masai, Red Gene Ringer.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely in the books and in the cards. That's got to be done. That's
Yeah,
one of
for
my
sure.
my dreams, and you know everything dark over here at the pit. I love the dark stuff, as you know. So the darker we can get it, the better it's gonna go. That's why I went straight into Blackhead with this boy. That's one of the first things I wanted to achieve once I
Now,
knew what the complex
this
of the
isn't
Masai
this
is.
isn't a question, but I'm asking in behalf of the Pie Man, are you going to mix the Masai into pieds?
Yes, I will be.
Have you
Sure.
started on that or
Not as yet. That's going to be this season.
awesome? I think
Yeah,
that that's going to be a game changer because the contrast that it's going to bring to pied, but still work onto that more reddish, purpley hue. It's going to be so nice in the pied, I believe.
yeah, yeah. I think it will be really nice in the pie.
And real
Um,
quick, speaking on that, we have a shout out for Patrick from Aura because he sent us the world's first rust piebald to show you guys. So that's a pure rust piebald.
yeah, that's a smoke show. That's beautiful, beautiful. Congratulations, Patrick. That's
Hell
really
yeah.
lovely. Honestly,
So
I
everybody
think
shout out Patrick for providing these photos for tonight's episode and these comparisons because the rust is just an incredible mutation on its own as well.
yeah. Thank you, Patrick. You know, and I think that's what it's all about. Us all working together in this marketplace and actually understanding the genetics better, which thank you to you as well, Jared, for putting this stuff together and looking at these genes in more detail and helping all of us pull things together and pull people together in the industry, which we need more of. It's not about everyone battling against each other. It's about us working together to understand these genetics better. And I
For
think there's
sure,
not enough
man.
of that. Unfortunately, there's too many clicks, and that's not what it's about. Let's work together to understand these beautiful animals and the genetics behind them, and let's make some amazing animals for 2026 and going forward. Let's make some of the most beautiful things by understanding the genetics to a better degree.
For sure. I appreciate that very much. Like very much, more than you know.
We
We got
appreciate you.
Jamie says Barnhart Black Pastel.
Wow.
So
Barnhart Black Pastel would be brilliant.
you got any aspirations to add any black pastel to it this season?
No, not at the moment. I'm working on a few new genes that I really want to get in there, and I haven't got any Barnhart Black Pastel for one. But yeah, I want to work some other bits. I really want to see a Masai Bambino, to be honest. That's one of
Yeah,
my
for sure.
big goals.
Definitely, especially the
Um,
contrast, the Bambino, the pattern, see how they fight each other in pattern dominance.
yeah,
What
I,
about you, Jamie?
If you're gonna put black pastel, you might as well just throw dark angel.
yeah.
Dark
That's
Angel.
you just said it. That's one of my plans. A Dark Angel Pied is one of the moves that I'm going to be making. So yeah,
Mm,
well, you said it. You figured it out, and thank you, Jamie. Like, yeah, great suggestion, and you read my mind. And that's
there
what
you
it's all
go.
about. There we go.
Jamie
That's what it's all about.
got the insight. What about Red Stripe Banana? David asks.
Yeah, they'll be cool. They'll be cool. I think Red Stripe will be cool. Um, I want to also see NL Mandarin into it, so I'm gonna try and shoot for some of that down the line as well. But there's only so much that you can do in a year, and as I was explaining to you earlier, there's space is limited. The UK is
Yep.
very small, and the houses are even smaller. That's why we're in the kitchen today, and because we've got to look at where the light is best and everything's best to show off the animals in the right light.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
don't have the facilities that you guys have over there, and I don't know if you know when you come to the UK. Have you been to the UK, Joe?
Not yet, but I definitely need to make a trip over.
Yeah. Um,
I
when you
need
do
some
come
stamps
over,
in my passport.
well, definitely, yeah. It's a lovely country to visit, that's for sure. But I'm gonna flip
Justin
it back
dropped
around
this
again.
comment, and that was my first thought after Patrick sent the Rust picture to me, and I was the first one to see both mutations in comparison photos. I was like, man, I cannot wait to see the Rust and Masai cross together and see that ALS visual.
Sorry, guys, my phone's ringing off.
No, you're okay. I said
Yeah,
that I can't wait to see the Rust and Masai double visual.
yeah,
Let's
yeah. No,
see.
I think it'll
Ashley
be good.
says that she'd like to see it with Stranger. Any aspirations to make Stranger into it?
Yeah, Stranger will be interesting as well. There's going to be a lot of opportunity. We've got to look at a lot of the different genes that we can actually put into these morphs. But we've got to be selective. I think the time has come now to be more selective with the stuff that we are breeding, because mass producing is just it's not going to do any good for the marketplace itself. The more we
Yeah.
mass produce stuff, the more it's going to diminish the prices and diminish the marketplace. It's simple economies of scale, simple economics, should I say? And if we just produce for the sake of producing without having a plan of what we want to produce, then we're going to oversaturate the market. And I don't think that's a good thing for anyone. I think we should be
Yeah.
selective, have less breeding, even
Especially
if
with
we've
these
got a
newer
lot.
mutations, right? Because if it's a newer mutation and you're trying to pair a male to 5 females in a season, and you're not even ready to sell that stuff yet, you have to hold all of that back, and then that inhibits your growth the next season and the season after that, trying to hold everything back from these projects. So, I mean, that translates even into our known genetic projects to where try to be selective, try to go for your best odds, try not to flood yourself with a bunch of byproduct that you're just going to hit the market with, and try to move for pennies on the dollar. Because that's just what we're seeing right now, is just kind of like that leftover flow of kind of a lot of byproduct that was overproduced from triple and quad recessive directions
Yeah,
without much incomplete dominant mixed in. So I think going forward, we're about to see a lot of incomplete dominant stack triple and double and quad hets. And that's where that ceiling is gonna rotate, and it's all like I said. I agreed with, I can't remember who I would be quoting by saying it, but they mentioned how, you know, genetic testing has pretty much leveled the playing field with incomplete dominance and recessives, and I agree. I agreed with it wholeheartedly, because the value for recessives back in the day used to be, I know this is 100% because I produced it from a visual, so this holds the highest value. And these possible hits you could take a chance on, but I'm still going to ask you a good amount because there's a good possibility of you getting into this project. And now with testing, it's this one has it, this one doesn't, this one has it, this one doesn't. It's an incomplete dominant if you look at it that way. So you can sell off the non-hets as wholesale, and you can sell off your hets knowingly. So it's kind of changed the field into where value lies over time. And I agreed that over the next few years, the value of recessives is going to kind of level out for these known ones, the known ones.
Yeah.
And the true value going forward is going to be, you know, hype projects, hype mutations. They always draw value and interest and demand of, you know, I need that mutation that makes that up, or that one thing I'm missing, and or the one thing I want to add to that, or whatever it is. There's always going to be that, but I think that there's enough coming out now. It's going to be these new combos with these newer mutations that's going to really be driving us forward as far as the excitement goes.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's the way, you know, and you know, just because it's a new mutation, it doesn't have to be super expensive. There is some mutations that are new that have hardly been worked with that you can get into. And I think even if you're a kind of a newish breeder, um, go for something that is pretty rare and not too many people have put their stamp on, had many combos with, and work that to its best capability rather than trying to aim for something that has already been mass produced that people love. You know, people love the Batman, and I think it's a fantastic morph. But how many Batmans are there out there now? And because the Batman was so popular, the value has just dropped significantly, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it was a simple stack of incomplete dominance into
Yeah.
a single linear direction recessive with the clown, so it wasn't hard for people to reproduce that, but it really gave way for this simple combination of genetics that everybody could build on in their own direction, right? So
Absolutely.
you could take two different incomplete dominants and say, I'm going to stack that in. As long as they were weird enough, you probably had a different project than somebody else at that time.
Exactly.
It's harder
Absolutely.
to
Yeah.
get projects like that now.
Yeah. But they're coming through as long as you looking for at the right places and do your homework and do your research, then they're out there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Did
are
you
you
want me
ready
to
to
show
get into the next segment?
did
Were
you
you
want me
saying
to show
something,
you
Jamie?
the blackhead combo or the head? Or do you want to move on to
So
Bambino because I
we
know
are
time is
going
running.
to hit this layover and call this one the genetic appraisal, because we are going to get into the question of, does Bambino have a hitchhiker? Did it have a hitchhiker in the beginning? And whatever, you know, tell us the story about Bambino, and if there was a hitchhiker from the beginning. Did you isolate anything from it? Did it look different after you bred it out for a few seasons from the original? Let's break it down.
So yeah, so the Bambino when it came in, it was you could see it was a very different morph. So for my first breeding, I bred it to a purple passion yellow belly. So
Hmm.
Allelic, it was back in the day. So Allelic, so I knew what results I'd get. Everything would be baseline Phantom or Mojave, and then have the chance of yellow belly on top. So that was the original Bambino. And generally, when you get animals out of Africa, they're either a shade lighter or darker from their babies. Just one of those things.
Yep.
So that was actually the Bambino, original Bambino was actually lighter than the results that I got. But obviously, everything was mixed with Phantom or Mojave. So then I bred a second clutch and produced my first straight Bambinos. And I could see that it was genetic, but I still need to prove out that there wasn't anything else in there, which is what I always do because a lot of the times from Africa, the genes can have an extra, as you said, hitchhiker gene or two in there. So
Yeah.
I wanted to
Or like a
make sure.
wild yellow belly mutation.
Exactly,
Super
exactly.
common yellow belly coming out of the wild, you know.
Exactly. So I wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything else in there. Uh, and I generally breed to three or four different females over a season to make sure that there's no hitchhikers involved. Because I've had it before where I had three breedings, and because there's combos involved, I didn't spot any hitchhikers.
Yeah.
So you've got to go simple. And my third clutch was actually with a fire cloud, and I got some really weird results.
Oh,
But
okay.
everything out there had another gene, and I was scratching my head at that
So
point.
the whole
It's like
clutch, even the non-Bambinos.
everything had a
Hmm.
weird thing. So I was scratching my head to think whether that came from the Bambino or whether it came from the Fire Clown. I had another clutch after that. That all the Bambinos were just Bambinos. So it gave me the
From the
conclusion
same
that
animal, from the same male.
from the same male, yeah.
Yeah. So you
Um,
had like 3 clutches of normal Bambino offspring, and then that one clutch was really weird, every baby.
exactly.
Okay,
So
so
it
it
showed me
doesn't seem tied to the Bambino, seem tied more to that clutch.
precisely, yeah. And so
Okay.
with doing more work, it was definitely tied to that clutch. And so that Fire Clown had an extra gene in it, which produced some whacked out results, some really, really crazy results. Um,
So this is the picture you sent me of the fire clown here.
yeah,
And that's the one that had just a little bit of a, it didn't look weird. It doesn't look too weird. It's a little bit weird if you look at it, if you know a fire clown, but it's not too off.
yeah, exactly. It's not too mad. Um, I just kept it because it was a brighter Fire Clown than the other ones that I'd seen. But it doesn't have any granite type markings. It doesn't have any kind of you know
The only thing it
crazy.
really has is like a little bit of furling of the edges of like some of the pattern, like where it's like not a true alien head, where like fire clowns kind of have more of that furled but wide alien head, you know, like they're a little bit chainy,
Yeah,
but that's it.
exactly. That's it. You would never think that that was hiding another gene that would be very expressive. You never think
Hmm.
that would be that much of a crazy thing going on. But yeah, as it
So,
transpired, it whacked out the Bambino something crazy. And I was stunned with the result, very, very happy. But then I needed to carry on doing experimentation with straight Bambinos and then work out what was going on with this extra gene on top of that as well.
so in that clutch of the animals where you got all the extra gene, did you have a single simple form? Is that one of the pictures you sent me?
I haven't sent you this picture. I'm not sure. Actually, I may
I
have.
think you did. This one here, right?
Yes, I did. Yes, my memory eludes me. Yeah, I'll carry on talking. I'm just going to put this Masai back while I talk to you. Yeah, that's a single form, and as you can see, it's not like a really outstanding granite type looking animal.
Yeah, it doesn't really give you granite vibes. I mean, it has some peppering, it has some pinching to the keyholes, but it keeps that twin spot kind of keyhole pattern, which is traditional all the way through. It has a lot more blushing markings through the middle of the alien, or I'm sorry, the middle of the dorsal coins. Like there's a lot more blushing than a normal would have. And it seems like inside of the alien heads, there's a much more blonder tone, like a creamy blonde tone coming up from the belly, like where the tan kind of drops and washes out towards the bottom of
Absolutely.
the alien head.
Yeah, and then obviously there's some dot marks in the back pattern in the dorsal, and then there's the dots that really go down the back. Like there's some traits through the gene that I picked up.
It's a strong head stamp too. And is the tail stripe, I mean, I don't know, you've seen enough yet, but is the tail stripe consistent?
Yeah, it's consistent. Yeah.
Because we do
Yeah.
see the tail stripe on a lot of common granites, but that's the only thing that you could draw a similarity to is like the tail stripe and peppering, but like the color and the keyholes really seems more normal.
Yeah. It does, yeah. It's not like, you get very high expression granites and like medium ones. I would say this is a medium to low expression granite. But what it does in combos is really quite spectacular,
Yeah,
which I'll be able to show you today.
and I'm gonna show everybody this picture of the fire with this mutation.
Now, that is a lot more extreme, right?
Yeah, and that's just the fire with the extra mutation.
Which is really cool. I think I mean, look at how huge those blocks are. You can't even call them saddles anymore. They're just blocks.
Yeah,
That's chunks of stone on that. It's really heavily patterned. The dorsal is really thick and really long. It almost wants to be all joined up all the way down it. It's only got small little breaks in it.
yeah, it wants to stripe through, but it wants to break still.
Like there's not much around the pattern of it. There's not much at all. There's hardly any, as you call,
Yeah,
negative space.
yep. Yeah, it shrinks up the blacks, like it tightens it up, and it allows the fire to widen the pattern because fire likes to widen pattern, and it's just not fighting that. It's allowing it, but it's containing it to where it doesn't want to allow it to grab the dorsal as often. Like you could see it grabs a little here and a little there, but it's just like a little pinch. It doesn't want to like wrap over. Like in a fire, typically you'll get it where it wants to grab a higher percentage.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And
The
also the eye
graniting
stripe.
or the peppering inside of the alien heads is also more muted. It's not a true black peppering. It's more like the coloration of the blushing coming through the peppering.
Yeah, it is kind of like that. And also the eye stripe is a bit wider as well. But the peppering is subdued across the board with this. I mean, I've only
It's
made,
muted, yeah.
yeah, it really is. When you think about a granite type gene, you want it to be really expressive. You want that peppering to be everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's what you expect from a granite gene, but not all are made the same, and some have some great reactions and some have some very subdued reactions. But this has made some good reactions so far, if I do say so myself.
And then this was another fire clown with that extra mutation. So you can kind of
Which
see it's got like that head stamp kind of dragging up onto the head from the neck and breaking apart like three little dots. It wants to play
Yeah,
into the head stamp with the fire because fire wants to mess with the head stamp of the clown more. And in the pattern, same thing. It looks pretty normal and it just has like that little bit of chaining and bubbling here and there and choppiness. It's nothing crazy in this expression. And I can see
yeah,
why it was hidden in that animal that originated with it.
absolutely. And you can see the pattern for a clown is really blocky. It's got quite a heavy pattern for a clown, which you would normally associate with something like a Mojave or a bell complex animal. But there's no bell complex in this.
Well, the fire.
Fire, but
Yeah.
Blue-eyed Lucy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not blue eye complex, correct.
Yeah.
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 And a lot of people group those together. I want to touch on that real quick. A lot of people group together the bell complexes, and I feel like there should be a distinction where it's like Blel for black eye leucistic complex and Bell for blue eye leucistic because they're not compatible with each other. You can get Fire Mojave and all that stuff. You can cross them up. They're not compatible. So why are they considered just verbally like, oh, Bell complex? I don't feel like there should
Yeah.
be some discernation for people learning this stuff, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Because it's totally different complexes. You know, they're not compatible with each other. They're not running on the same allele. So yeah, it's
Whenever,
they'll group differently.
yeah, whenever you come up with any questions, Jamie, just blurt them out or
I'm
whatever,
soaking
you know?
everything in for sure.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm sure. It's a lot to take in. That's what I'm saying. This episode is loaded. So we are now going to show everybody the Bambino with that extra mutation.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go grab that. So you want to see that girl, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
we'll get her out live, but I'll just leave
Yeah.
this picture up and talk about it for a second while you do that because, or you tell us a
Holy
little bit
crap.
about her because you can still speak while you're doing that, right?
No, I've got to go downstairs to get it.
Oh, no worries.
I was gonna show you the book, but like, it's all right. I'm gonna go grab that, and I'll be back in a second. I'll grab that girl. Obviously, she's a
Sounds
lot
good.
older now, so the colours have changed, and she's actually started cycling again. So if you guys think of a suggestion while I'm gone of what you would like to see bred to her, she's het clown also. So let us know what you think would be good to match up with her.
All right, everybody that's watching, drop it in the comments what mutations you think would play well into this combo. And remember, this is just a Bambino with this new Hitchhiker mutation that's been proven out that wasn't in the title, and also Het Clown. I agree, Jeff. That thing is amazing. I love how busy it is. I love how this extra mutation really intensified like those white patterns kind of wrapping around the colorful alien heads. It's like the alien heads are splitting off almost. It's just incredible. And I do have, I think, another angle to show you guys. Let me see if I do. Oh wait, no, that's the other one. So we'll wait on that. But there is one more amazing animal to show off too for this clutch. I really love how busy it makes the pattern. You almost lose the distinction between what's alien head and what's the pattern breaking off around it, you know? And it's like the
Yeah.
white flames coming up in the pattern are actually like those white outlines that are just breaking off from the middle of the alien head. And the line down the dorsal is just, it wants to stick together from the neck a third of the way down and then from the tail back, but that middle area is just distorted. Let's see what everybody's saying. Some wows. I think that's everybody. Everybody's just picking their jaws up off the floor.
Yeah. But you hit it right on with the busyness. Like that is just intensely amazing.
Yeah, and there's another one too. I mean, all right, Mills, let's get
I'm
you
trying
going up
to
here.
I'm trying to turn it around again.
Okay,
It's not. Oh, there we
three
go. I'm pressing the
lines,
wrong button. Yeah, I got
settings.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was pressing the wrong three lines. Okay.
Check my battery here.
Oh,
I'm doing good. This new phone, yo, shout out to these new phones because I got that new phone and I've been streaming without being on the charger, and I got my new DJI mic mini. Everybody tell me if I sound better this episode. Um, and it's drawing power, so we're at 60% still, doing awesome.
right, this is her
If your
now.
phone's dying, get a new one.
This side. I'm being told I need to move. Okay.
That thing
So,
aged so well.
yeah.
Wow.
So she's actually coming up to being gravid now. So, yeah, she's beauty, you know. She really is. The pattern's so whacked out. So it's got the other gene in it. As you've coined it, the asteroid gene, which is what we're going with as
Oh,
just
you're gonna
the
call
name
it
for now.
asteroid?
Well, the main man suggested it. I love the name, you know, so we're gonna go with that.
All
I love
right, there you go. There we have it, everybody. It's officially named the asteroid, which was a name that I had suggested earlier.
I love the
Man,
name.
that's awesome. I appreciate that. I love the name. I just think it fits. So,
Yeah, and you
and
can see how.
I know that you said she's close to being gravid, so I don't want you to manipulate her too
Oh,
much,
she's
but
she's
if
not
you
close to
could,
being gravid. She's just building follicles at the moment. She just
oh, okay.
started to build follicles
Well,
last
still
year.
don't
She laid.
manipulate her too much.
Yeah,
But can you just pick her up and give us a sideways horizontal view of that pattern?
of course I can.
Oh, yeah, I like that a lot. That color in the middle of the alien heads, where all the pattern breaks also off of, it like turned that yellowish green, it seems, in the camera. Yeah, like right there. You can like see that those are the centers of the alien heads, and then all that other pattern is just kind of shattering around it.
It's insane. It really
It's
is.
like a Space Invader video game.
Exactly. That's why we're gonna. That's why it's called the asteroid. The other gene is called the asteroid. I love it. I
Man,
love
that thing
it.
is
Great suggestion
awesome.
for a name. Thank you for that. Brilliant.
Sure,
But look at
I'm
that.
honored that you like it.
It's like one of those little aliens that's coming down, about to be
Yeah, the little
obliterated.
freaking aliens with the antennas and the feet. Yep.
It
And
is beautiful.
it's like right after you shoot it and it just starts to break apart.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's wild.
She really is so sensational, you know. When I hatched this clutch, I was stoked. And now, I'm gonna go ahead and I've got more work to do with the asteroid, but I'm gonna go ahead and put the Bambino to what I already have, put it to some other granite type genes, see what we have at play. And I'm pretty sure if Justin's still on, this is the animal that made him want the Bambino so bad.
That would be the one that makes me want it even worse, that's for sure. So
Uh,
I totally see why he says that.
I thought you're getting one on this shipment coming out at the end of January.
We'll see. David says that needs to be worked into tri-stripe in his opinion.
Okay, that's a good
We got
suggestion.
Jeff at Baldhead says a low white pied with that pattern would be amazing if it could express through a pied.
Well, we're working on that, and we have got some stuff, but I just haven't got conclusive results. But with what I've seen with Pied so far, it's incredible with Pied, but not with the asteroid gene as well. Just with the Bambino
Just the
Pied.
Bambino pied.
Yeah,
Okay.
but again, I haven't released any information, any pictures, because until I'm sure of what I'm looking at and know I've produced a Bambino Pied, I'm not saying nothing, I'm just keeping it under hats. But we should have some more eggs rolling on in the next few months for some beautiful Bambino Pied combos.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Can't wait to see those. We got Mark saying DG and acid. So that's an interesting one, I think, and I want to say my thoughts on that. DG is really gonna want to control everything and kind of
Yeah.
draw it back into form, and then acid's gonna want to rip it all back up. So I think that that's actually a really interesting combination to want to throw into it.
Uh, I'm interested to see how the DG reacts, and I think Justin and Jason are going to be ahead of the curve with me with that, because I haven't really got DG stuff, because I've been working on my own type of African DG stuff. But I'm really working the hypo stuff with it, and I'll show you a couple of hypo bits that I produced, and I'll show you why I'm working with the hypo with the Bambino, because I really think it works. But I'll show you
Okay.
some new Bambino stuff after I show you some Asteroid Bambino combos.
We got
because I
one
know,
more. Yeah, we got a couple more, right? Yeah. So, Mike and Melissa say cryptic would be amazing in that. And I think that would be interesting to see how much cryptic can control things because it has a more dominant pattern than clown does.
yeah, again, Justin's working, a good few things that I'm not working. That's the beauty of working with people. That you can't have the whole G pool, right? So you work with or have people that have a more diverse gene pool than you do, to prove out the morphs that you want to see. So it's great working with the right people.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Slay, to answer your question, I got the newest iPhone Pro Max with that like 1 TB or whatever for storage, so I don't have like any heating issues and stuff like that because storage is a main issue for overheating with phones and stuff when you're streaming. Ashley says Stranger, Red Stripe, and Clown to get that visual clown.
Yeah, you got my heart right there, and we're going to be hopefully shooting for that towards the end of this year.
That is next level. It's a good time to just get back, Pharaohs, Marcel. Paint.
I'm not going to stress her out too much more.
Yeah,
But
you
you
can put
guys
her
talk,
back away.
and
I'm gonna show these people the next one, which is the fire version.
Bambino.
Bambino Asteroid Fire coming up. Nope, that ain't it. There it is.
Wow.
So that's the Bambino Asteroid Fire.
Head clown as well.
Het Clown as well. So let's just take a step back here. So now we have a name. So we have the asteroid. We have the asteroid fire. We have the asteroid fire clown. The Bambino asteroid clown, or het clown. And then this is another angle of the Bambino asteroid het clown. I did think it was a front view of this one. I had it marked wrong. I had it marked as the fire. So that is the front view of just the Bambino asteroid. And then the Bambino asteroid fire het clown. So you really see how that fire just plays into tearing everything up and turning it more into a kind of space dust type pattern where you start. It's cool though because you still have definition to every little piece of pattern, and it's like every piece has its own different shades of color to them. You still get the whites, you still get the oranges, you still get the yellows, and then fire is just kind of brightening up the flames, creating a little bit more of that blushing coming through on that like spacing between the dorsal and the top of the alien head pattern, like that line, that bar of darkness that runs down the whole side of the dorsal. You get a little bit more blushing burning out through there, but it really, really just takes that fire and allows it to play with the pattern. And it doesn't really affect the brightness or the fading at all. I wonder how that aged. Let's see, what's that one? Are you back now, Mills?
Yeah, I'm here, yeah. So,
All right. See, I can talk about something for a couple minutes.
yeah. So, what do you want me to grab next? Shall I grab the straight
Do
asteroid
you have
clown?
the Bambino asteroid fire het clown grown up?
Fine. That's not over here.
Oh, okay. Do you have any other Bambino asteroid combos?
I've got an asteroid clown. I've got the fire asteroid clown. I've got a new one that no one has seen in the world that I can show the comparison with and without Bambino. I've got, sorry, I'm just trying to flip it again using the
All
technology and
right.
stuff.
I want to see the asteroid clown and the fire asteroid clown comparison, and then I want to see the new Bambino combo comparison. I think that was a
Yeah,
great
the new
lineup.
Bambino one is really nice, and I can show. The great thing with that is I can show the same mutation with both with and without the asteroid, and you can see how it looks with both of them. You know.
Awesome. Okay. Do you need a few minutes?
So first of all, you want me to show you the straight asteroid. I can show you the straight asteroid clown with what I think is with the leopard on top, and then I can get the fire asteroid clown if you want, and then I can get um, the new one that no one in the world has seen as yet. That I can show you with and without asteroid with the Bambino
All
to
right,
show you
let's
the
do it.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds great.
In the meanwhile, I'm gonna hand it over to KP for a second.
All
Who's
right, I'm
gonna?
gonna do some shout outs for some merch and
Okay.
stuff. Jamie, you got any shout outs you want to give tonight?
You're on the camera.
Oh, I mean, besides you, I'm wearing Triforce.
Okay, there we go. Triforce Exotics. Shout out to Triforce. And me, I got one of the sponsors up top tonight. That's Jim at Ectothermic Dungeon. If you missed the beginning of the episode, I recommend you go back and watch it because we don't take any breaks to give you sponsor videos. We do it in the intro. So make sure you guys are going back to the beginning of the episode, catching all that great stuff in the beginning that you might have missed if you did miss it. And check out these amazing sponsors of this show because they help bring you better content. They help motivate me to do the next big thing and make changes to this program and just up the quality for you all. And I just really appreciate their I really appreciate what they see in the value of the genetic canvas and what I'm trying to do here and my mission. So make sure you guys are checking them out. Make sure you guys mention that you saw them on the genetic canvas when you inquire to anything so that they know that we're getting their word out. And then on the shirt, because I do got something on under this sweater, we got red line shipping. Make sure you guys are using that code that I got up there for you guys. So I'll put it up there right now, actually. You get to save 65% off one additional label at Redline Shipping. That's the biggest discount that you can get at Redline, and it's a label in addition to the two that you save 60% off with other affiliate codes. So make sure you guys are using this to get that third discount. All right, looks like you're back.
Yes, I am indeed.
You're on screen.
Okay, so to give you a bit of a background on this, so this
Or
club was,
sideways.
oh,
There we go.
yeah, is that good? Am
Yep.
I out of the shadow? Okay, yeah. So these two are from the same clutch. So the female I just showed you, the Bambino Asteroid Het Clown, the sister to that, which looks pretty similar but is in shed, produced these guys. And so the breeding was the sister to that to an leopard, enchi, yellow belly, clown pied.
Okay.
So these are not Bambinos. These are definitely asteroid clown combos. I don't see any enchi.
Yeah.
They may have yellow belly, and I think one of them has leopard. Or they may both have leopard, but I'm not sure. I think these are
Not seeing leopard. Let
Yeah.
me see the head stamp. I think the one on the left has blade.
Blade could be involved from one of the original breedings. Yeah. But yeah, okay,
They
that's
may both have blade. I think the one on the left is blade asteroid clown, and I think the one on the right is yellow belly blade asteroid clown.
I can flip
Because
the
it
bellies
has
over
that
as well.
horseshoe. I mean, it's chopped up right there by the blade, by the asteroid bubbling up to the middle, but it wants to do that wishbone around the head stamp, you know?
Yeah. This is the female, just so you know, for like reference. So
Can
that's
we
the
see
belly on there.
the side gut? Lots of portholes. Lots of like chopping and like edging, but hard to say on yellow belly because it's very reduced, and fire likes to give you a lot of that edging and kind of choppiness too, so
This one
not the,
doesn't have fire. There's no fire
yeah,
in
that one doesn't have
this.
fire, you're right,
These
but
can't have fire in them. Yeah, there's no fire in the
so
breeding.
maybe that is the yellow belly influence. Let's see that one, the side gut on that one.
So that's the head stamp,
Okay.
and then it's pretty similar.
It seems like, can you get the side gut a little bit better? Yeah, it seems like those flames almost shoot up a little, spike a little bit higher. Like the bottom of that patterning is a little bit more choppy than the other one. Like that one could have the yellow belly.
Yeah, this is the one I thought had yellow belly in it.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
male.
and that makes sense into what we're seeing. But the other one had more pattern in the keyholes. So that's why initially I leaned towards that one, but just because it's
Yeah,
busier.
like these parts. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But
But I
it's
think the
not, it
yellow belly
definitely
has
isn't.
washed this one more.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that they have leopard. They definitely don't have Enchi. I don't think that they have leopard. This is the
No.
asteroid effect, baby. You guys have seen it first.
Well, yeah,
Asteroid
and
clowns.
also if you look at what it did to the fire, right? It wanted to elongate the fire
Yep,
alien
the
heads.
blocks.
So I could see it doing that with the clown too, because clown wants to be wider alien heads and they want to kind of mash and block together. So that could just be the asteroid interaction with the clown for sure.
Blocks. They're massive blocks. Yeah,
Yeah.
huge blocks. And actually, you can see the color difference in the two now. This one is yellow, but look at that for a block on a clown. Look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy. And
mean,
if it was blade, it wouldn't have all those keyholes.
yeah.
So that's amazing. Honestly, for a simple combo, it's pretty cool.
But again, you see how simple the asteroid itself looked, but look at what it can produce. I
And
mean,
clown, yeah, clown cleans it up.
yeah, but you don't get normal clowns that look like this. Like these are pretty different looking clowns from something. If you saw that asteroid out the wild, you wouldn't think, holy moly, I need that, you know?
Yeah. But when you see it in those other combos, you're like, that's interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Especially that Bambino. Wow.
Yeah.
What
So
are you asking, Mark, here? Has this, oh, okay. Has the asteroid, yeah, we isolated it. He showed the isolated version, but have you made a super asteroid yet?
that's what I'm working on this year, you know? Yeah, I'm
Working
just
on it
getting
this
the
year. Okay.
girls up to size. Obviously, it takes time to get the girls up to size. And typically for me, I typically take 3 years to get my girls up to size. I slow grow them. I'm not in no rush. I do this because I love it. And I want to answer a lot of questions. So I slow grow my animals, you know?
Justin's working paint into Bambino.
Yep. So it's a good route.
Says granulated, so nice. Add pastel. Add hurricane. We got Jason Amos in the building. We appreciate you. Make
What's
sure if you
happening,
guys
Jason?
missed that Stranger episode, you go back and watch it. Jason had some fire in that episode, as well as FNA and our other guests. And
That's
Justin
these
said,
guys.
yeah, that girl was the reason that asteroid Bambino.
Yeah. I'll grab the fire version you wanted to see, right? I'll grab that real
Yeah.
quick.
And then that other new one, I think you
Yeah, the
said.
new two. That's the Masai in the book.
Oh yes. And this is the book. You're gonna have to definitely show us the cover, kind of give us a little lowdown of the book, because I'm sure many people have not seen it.
Yeah, I'll show you stuff. Put the Bambino in it, put some great combos in it. It really is, something that every bull python breeder should have.
Yeah, it's like a morph Bible almost. There's a few of them out there, so it's good to have all of them. And on online, this book I think is going for over $100, correct?
Yeah, we have the sun versions, and we can, if any of your guys will hook you guys up for a very good price. And I'm sending some copies out to Gerard. So if anyone wants any, then we can grab them from Gerard.
Yep,
So
you're
yeah,
gonna
I'll
get
go through the book
a
in a
limited
bit.
number shipped over of these books so that I can offer them to you guys at
Signed by
regular
the author.
cost.
Signed by the author as well.
Yep, signed by the author. So hit me up if you're interested in that, and I'll put you on a waiting list.
So this is the asteroid fire clown. Sorry, quite blocky. It's
The,
really, really beautiful color. It's very creamy. That's the only way
yeah,
I
I was
can.
gonna say that's the one thing I noticed right away is Asteroid creamed the fire out. We got one person that wants one also.
Yeah, we haven't got any available at the moment, but we will do pretty soon this year. As in, I mean, hit us up. I may have something lurking around. I'll have to check, but this is, a totally new gene. No one has it. None have been sold. It is totally fresh.
What do you think about this asteroid, Jamie? Gotta get you talking a little
Compared
bit,
to
ask you some questions.
like the first one compared to these, it's just like the way the clown kind of just shut everything up was kind of unreal.
Yeah, it shut down like the busyness and like the edging and stuff, but like what do you think about that color?
Yeah,
Like the
I
creaminess?
definitely, yeah, yeah. Like you don't see that on a lot of stuff. Is it the asteroid doing that, or is it the other gene with the asteroid?
It's just fire and asteroid with clown, so it has to be the asteroid because there's nothing else involved changing it.
Yeah, I don't have a fire clown, so I don't really see one a lot. But yeah,
Yeah, typically they're just more tan, khaki. They're not as creamy blonde. Like I don't want to say blonde because it's not like yellowish blonde, but like it's like a muted tan, where it's more creamy muted tan. Everybody wants some.
yeah.
It
I
works
already sent
well.
you a message on Instagram.
Oh yeah, that's the good angle there with
Yeah.
kind of like the chaining part and stuff.
I mean, the great thing is, it's like there's no pies being done. It's not even being worked on at the moment with pie. There's no DG being worked on. Imagine this with DG in it. There's no hypo being worked with this at the moment, and it's got that same crazy pattern on the side.
Yeah, it wants to stretch and just kind of edge along that belly.
But even this, like what we're looking at on the other one with the black lining coming up from the belly, almost
Yeah.
like it wants to be a yellow belly, but no, it's not. This can't
And
be
then
yellow
this
belly.
one here is what you're seeing is that fire interaction because fire can trick people to mimic yellow belly and clowns, but this
Yeah.
one here, that's what you're seeing is that fire kind of dripping
Yeah,
off of it.
And
yeah.
beautiful little greens coming in to all the little I
Oh
don't know if
yeah,
the
you can
camera
kind of
can
see
pick that
it.
up. Yeah. And this is just fire asteroid clown. That's it.
What up,
Nothing
Mike?
else. It's as simple as that.
Make sure you go back and watch this whole episode if you're joining us late, because we have already made it through the Masai mutation and many others.
And even the dorsal, the blushing in the dorsal's got some greens in it as well, you know, yellows and greens.
Hmm.
Yeah, to me, it makes the calm better for sure.
And another thing I noticed is because I've had some fire clowns, and I even had a het red xanthic fire clown, which is one of the best fire clowns I've ever seen. And shout out to Big Sam, Sam Ornella. He bought that male from me and produced his first clutch with him at the end of last season. So shout out to Big Sam. But this animal, that would be the animal I could compare it closest to, because it was like a fire clown with a lot of black contrast wrapping around the pattern, but no color differences. Like it just had an extra contrast to it. Whereas like in a little chaining, but this animal just totally changes the color.
Yeah.
And what I was gonna say is the even with the het red xanthic fire clown, it had a more open dorsal, whereas if you show us the dorsal on that, the alien heads want to almost touch. They almost want to pitch together and touch. Like they're so close. So that's interesting too.
Yeah. So shall I bring out the next two?
Yeah, let's just keep
Okay.
rolling. We're on a roll now. We got a decent amount more to get through, so nobody get
Yeah.
tired on us. I got my charger ready for when I gotta plug my phone in, because I know that this episode is going to be a long one and it's going to be a good one.
All right. I'm in.
And if you get tired, Jamie, or have to leave or anything, just let me know.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep the kids under wraps.
Yeah, it did help the color and the blushing on the dorsal, Marcel. I think I don't know if that airplane got picked up by my mic, but I don't think it really intensified the oranges. I just think it turned the oranges to this like softer tone that really translated well. So while everybody's waiting, I am going to show one more animal that Patrick at Aura gave us the picture for, and it's another rust mutation. And we showed you the blackhead rust het piebald. We showed you the rust piebald, and now we are showing you the blackhead rust piebald.
Wow.
So that thing right there, super low white visual piebald, and the only two mutations are blackhead and rust. I mean, I think that's incredible. It almost doesn't look piebald, but you can see like the white wrapping up underneath the belly, and just the definition of the stripe with the two bold black lines hugging it the whole way down, except for where it breaks. It's just a really clean look, and that burning orange, it's just like I love the rust. The color, the name Rust is such a fitting name, and I really like the
Yeah.
mutation a lot. So shout out to Patrick for supplying us these amazing pictures and allowing me to show you all.
Okay, so this one was from breeding a um a, the Bambino Fire Asteroid Het Clown to a Mojave Cinnamon Clown.
Wow,
So
that's
this
crazy.
one is just a Mojave Fire, maybe Cinnamon Asteroid Clown. I'm not sure on the cinnamon. I don't think it's got cinnamon, but yeah, it's just from what I can see, a Mojave Fire Asteroid Clown. But obviously, this is, first generation. I've got to do more
Mm.
work to know for sure what genes are in play. I
I
would have
think you
thought.
have all of them personally.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think you have the cinnamon, the Mojave, the fire, and the asteroid. And the
Okay.
reason why I say that is because looking at the asteroid fire clown, it doesn't have as much lift to the pattern. So that could be the Mojave or it could be the cinnamon. Um, I want to say that the Mojave is what's really overpowering the blushing on the entire animal because it's known to do that in the clowns.
Yeah.
Um, Now, where it gets gray is, see on that side right there where the hand is covering, that's more of like a Mojave looking alien
Yeah.
head interaction that I would see with like the
Yeah.
fire
Like,
Mojave clown.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then that's why I'm
It's
thinking
right.
the
No, it's
cinnamon
cinnamon.
is what's chopping it all up potentially and shifting the color palette to where it's more that silver tone over the cream.
Yeah. But
So
we don't know.
possible
Yeah.
cinnamon, but I think it's
Yeah.
definitely Mojave Fire Asteroid Clown, and I
Exactly.
think
That's exactly what I'm
probable
saying.
cinnamon.
Yeah. But until I breed him, we just won't know for sure. But obviously,
What's up,
this is the
Orlando and
beauty of
Terrell?
doing the stuff with the new genes. You gotta have your question marks. I've got my question marks over its name, and then you go ahead and prove it out to being exactly what's inside the genes. But you
Yeah,
can see the
I
fire in it. You
appreciate you,
can see the
Jamie. Thank you.
Mojave, and you can see the asteroid in it, right? And then
Yeah,
you go, bam, you hit that.
appreciate you, Big Mike. Catch the rest of that replay.
And then that's just adding one layer on top.
Oh wow, okay. And that looks cinnamon for sure.
Yep. But
Yeah,
that is
okay.
Bambino too.
Oh, okay.
That's,
So then
I'm not
yeah, then the
sure if
other
this
one
is
could be
asteroid as
okay,
well,
yeah.
but yeah, I think this is asteroid and Bambino, but I'm not entirely sure. But yeah,
Yeah,
this is,
again, yeah, we can't be entirely sure because it's it's educated guessing as far as, stacking the genes visually, especially with new combos. But I agree, and I think that it's very strongly likely that the other one is the Fire Cinnamon Mojave Asteroid Clown, and then this is the all gene with the Bambino. I think that's a very likely possibility.
it's a stunner. It's an absolute stunner.
Just crazy. That one especially to me looks more cinnamon because it looks more like xanthic in the pattern almost,
Yeah,
like silver.
she wants to run. Wanted to try and chuck the other girl back, but the other boy back. But yeah, the pattern on there, the greens, really prominent greens. I don't know if you could. Oh, I'm in the light. That's why. There we go. Now you can see the color. I
Yeah, yeah, those green tones are really shining through.
keep on coming in the light. And typical back pattern on a Bambino clown
Yep.
is the broken pattern all the way through it. I mean, if I can try and get this animal to sit still, I'll try it. I want to chuck the other one back. Oh, then I can really mess about with her. You can get a full frontal of her. As I said, you guys are seeing this first. There's no pictures out on the net on this girl or anything else. So a lot of world's first being shown in this video. I'm gonna just chuck this animal back in the puppet.
Yeah, and these aren't like, oh, I can call this a world first because I think it's a new combo of known genetics. These are world first because they're new combos of new genetics.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is why it's hard to establish exactly what genes are in there. I'm not trying to be a dummy or anything and not knowing my genetics, because when it comes to normal stuff, we all still have questions here and there. But where you're breeding brand new genes, the whole minefield is just full of questions. Genetic testing now helps, yes, but you're still guessing at the beginning and trying to figure things out. The animals go through their color changes and stuff, but there's no test for Bambino. There's no test for certain new genes. There's no test for asteroid. So even if I sent this some Bambino stuff in for testing, it's not going to show me if there's asteroid in there. It'll just test for Bambino. So there's a
Yeah,
lot
the
of
only thing you can test for in that is the cinnamon, the Mojave, and the fire, technically.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
And I don't know,
yeah.
is there a cinnamon test out yet? I don't think there is yet for cinnamon.
But she is a beaut, man. Look at those colors. Boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
that to intensify it even more with the greens, a blackhead.
Oh yeah, of course.
Blackhead
Gotta
is
be that.
just gonna turn it like crazy, crazy highlights.
Do you wanna see an update on the blackhead bambinos?
Yeah, we can do that right before we dive into the predator.
Okay, let's do that as the last bambino for tonight then. I'm gonna go grab that one. Do you wanna see the one that's possibly Enchi?
Yeah, you can
I'll
show
bring that one. Because everyone's seen the darker one, but
that.
I don't think many people have seen the lighter one that I think is possibly Enchi as well. So I'll grab that up.
All right. So we did get confirmation there was no cinnamon test yet. Memory served me well. So let's see here. A little bit of a recap here for everybody joining us. So the original Masai import female. This was one of the first clutches of the Masai mutation. This is that same first group of Masai animals, just in different lighting. Then this is the Masai single gene in some indoor lighting, showing a little bit more of the purples. Now, if you want to see the real comparisons live, you have to go back and watch the episode because the comparisons live did it justice. So definitely do that. This one here is the Blackhead Maasai, and you may question if it's blackhead by this photo, but if you go back and watch the episode, you're gonna question it a lot less, just like I did, because I questioned it myself too, and then we had to see it live. And then we got the Maasai on the top versus the Ultramel on the bottom, just to show a very general side-by-side comparison. And then we went through some of this rust mutations. So that's the single gene rust, which is the other mutation that was founded by Aura Allelic with Ultramel. This is the rust blackhead het piebald mutation combo. And then we have the close-up of that blackhead rust het piebald combo. And another one of the blackhead rust. So if you want to see the other ones that we showed off, you got to go back and watch the rest of the episode.
Okay, so the lighter colored one, I forgot I fed it yesterday. But yeah, this is a blackhead bambino red and ringer gene. It's possibly Enchi as well. But yeah, there could be a chance that there's the invader gene in there because all the clown stuff has, but I don't think this one's got the invader gene because
The
it's not as
asteroid, right?
blocky. Sorry, asteroid. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
When you
I'm
first
thinking
pulled it
hitchhiker.
out, I was thinking you were going to say that that was the Bambino asteroid, possible Enchi. What else was it though?
So the breeding was blackhead, Enchi, red and ringer
Red ringer.
to blackhead, Enchi, red and ringer clown to the girl that I showed you earlier, the asteroid
Fire clown.
bambino
Oh, the
head
fire
clown.
Bambino
The girl,
asteroid.
yeah, the girl, yeah. So that was the mum to this.
But not the fire one, the regular
Not
version.
the fire one, yeah. The fire
Okay.
one's a male.
So I think that does have the asteroid.
You
From what I'm
reckon?
looking at with like the chaining and like We'll have to see, obviously. This is preliminary, just kind of a guess right now, but with how it chains and how it wants to like allow those keyholes to kind of bubble at the top and stay closed, I feel like they wouldn't stay as closed without the asteroid gene. I feel like they would be a lot more like hooks and sharp edges coming off of the top of the pattern. Like right there by your thumb, up there by your thumb, like where there are like a lot more hooks and stuff. I feel
Yeah,
like, so we'll see, this is just an assumption,
yeah.
but that's an
And
incredible animal.
he should have his first clutches soon. I was meant to show you the new baby that popped out as well. That was what was meant to do. Should we do that on the next episode or?
Um, no, the new baby that you can't really tell yet what it is. That
Um,
one?
yep, that one. Yeah, the crazy looking thing that
Yeah, let's
has no
do it.
asteroid in it. All
Let's
right,
do it.
but
We
this
have to
guy's a
show it
beaut.
now.
Hopefully, he's going to produce some stuff pretty soon, so we'll know whether there is asteroid in him or not, which will relinquish a few more questions for me. But yeah, I love this guy,
Yeah.
man.
Super wild looking expression. That's why I believe it does have the Astro as well. Because I mean, the red gene, ringer gene is going to pump it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to do that much to the expression.
Yeah, and like you've seen the blackhead bambinos before in one of the last shows, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can see how impressive the bambino works with blackhead on its own merit, but with clown, I mean, wow, who's seen a clown like this? I mean, really, I mean, I have not seen clowns as crazy as this. That is one crazy pattern for a clown, and this
Yeah,
is
and the
an
best
adult
thing
breeder
is that
male.
it leaves enough to manipulate. There's enough
Yeah,
alien head, there's enough blockage to the alien head, there's enough height to it, and it's chained together enough to where you can still manipulate it with other mutations.
yeah, bang on. All right, let me get this newbie another, one that hasn't been seen in the
Have
world
a good
before.
night, Mitzi. Appreciate you coming out. Just catch up on the rest later. Make sure you get little man tucked in. So, 60-day free trial to Husbandry Pro. The banner's at the bottom of the screen. If you guys are not using a husbandry system yet, definitely check it out. Code selective60. If your account has not been in use for 6 months plus, you can also get the 60 days to restart it. So definitely use it. Definitely check out the new features and keep track of your breedings, your pairings, all of your animals. Multitasking. We're always multitasking. Let's see. And then anybody joining late, make sure you guys are commenting hashtag seat taken if you want to join me as a guest host on a future episode. And let's see, he'll be back in just a second. I wanted to show you guys this real quick. So this is one from the Rust grouping of photos that I did not show off yet. It's the last Rust mutation that Patrick was nice enough to bless us with. So this is actually the double visual of the Rust and the Ultramel on top of a visual clown. So that is Het Rust, Het Ultra visual clown. Can you see that, Mills?
Okay, so that's
It's the
yeah.
double Het visual clown.
Okay. Okay. Wow, that's really interesting.
Isn't
Way
it?
darker, way more blockier. That's
A
really,
little bit
really nice.
reduced, right? A little
Yeah.
reduced, but not much. It really, really gives you that nice tone. So the ALS between Rust and Ultramel is that nice. I really can't wait to see the ALS between Rust and Masai.
Yeah, that ALS between Rust and Ultramel is actually kept this darkness really well,
Exactly.
and the
The
pattern as
Ultramel
well.
you would have expected it to lighten it up some, and it didn't.
That's smoking. That's
Yeah,
smoking.
and
It's got,
that's kind of like what I was saying with the strength of mutation, right? Where the Masai plays more into the weakness of the mutation being in the middle, and the Ultramel plays more into the strength of the mutation being really, really light in color and really, high expression of Ultramel influence. And then that Rust is, and weakest is actually not a bad thing, but it's like the weakest expression of that really light purple and really bright orange, where it's like the darkest contrast. And when you mix the Masai and the Ultramel, it plays more into the light tone. But then, yeah, like you're saying, it's weird that when you mix them, the Rust and the Ultramel, it plays more darker.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's smoking. It really is nice. I like it.
This
I like
one,
how dark it is.
you'll have to fight the shadow on this
Yeah.
one. Turning the camera might help. There we
Is that
go.
better? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so this was from breeding. A male OD Russo clown het hypo to a blackhead Bambino red and ringer het hypo.
interesting. So that looks definitely Bambino. And
Yeah,
then what do you think is causing all the little hooks?
I think that's Russo.
The Russo?
Yeah,
And there
I
was no
reckon.
trick involved, right?
No, I reckon
No
that's
hurricane.
Blackhead, Russo, Bambino, het clown, posset hypo.
That's weird. It looks so influenced by like a hurricane, but then like it's gotta be like the Russo, because Bambino wants to kind of hook and kind of make those kind of like openings at the top of the alien heads. So I just think a lot of people are going to draw comparison to Hurricane, but I can see how that could be like a Bambino Russo. Just is that what you think it could be? Just Bambino Russo?
Bambino Blackhead Russo, I think.
Blackhead Russo?
Yeah.
Hmm. It's definitely weird. I like how it's got all those open alien heads and
Yep,
it's like
it
a
looks.
bunch, and they're not like muscle men, they're more like open hearts.
Yep, I like that. Open hearts.
It's like
Crazy
the
looking.
what is it? K's Open Hearts collection.
Mm.
What's up,
AP just said we
Travis?
can call him Casanova. Just a boy.
There you go.
But it's really bunched up. All the patterns really bunched up.
Oh, tell Parker we said what's up, Parker. How's it going, little man? Yeah, that is interesting. Real interesting.
Yeah.
So, what do you? Was that the weirdest one out of out of the clutch?
I think this is the weirdest one out of the clutch. The other ones are in deep shed, but they
Okay.
have a really good contrast because they've got the OD in them. So they've got like a real good oranges coming through them. The OD and the Russo have really amped it up the contrast between the darkness and the oranges.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. All right. Well,
Yeah.
are you ready to get into the episode closers, which are
Yeah.
these other mutations?
Yeah. So do you want me to talk about the Terminator and the Predator? Let me just put this guy back. I'll talk about the Terminator and the Predator for a second.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So we are going to get into the next two mutations here, kind of close the episode out. And these are mutations. I mean, we'll have him tell you more about the history of them and everything, but from my understanding, he's been working these for 6 to 8 years, something like that. He'll clarify. But not only did he mix them together, and they did something amazing that I think is really cool with another mutation, incomplete dominant, that we're all really familiar with and is really popular in the market. But just on their own, they have they have so the Terminator, I think, is gonna be less impressive on its own and more impressive in combos, whereas the Predator seems to be both. It's both impressive on its own and in combos. So from the name, you can kind of tell one plays more into contrast, but the Terminator doesn't really lend to what it does in interactions. So we'll have to just let you all see exactly what that is. But let's get him blown back up here.
With them first, or
Predator first.
okay, so um, both the Predator and the Terminator came from um, a collection that I bought. So um, there was a guy that couldn't keep his collection anymore, and I saw potential in both the Terminator and the Predator genes. And I could see that there was something different. What the guy did at the beginning is he bred uh, an African gene to an African gene, basically, and really muddied the water. So there was a lot of untangling to do, shall I say that, and as it transpired, there was three genes in the mix, what I call the Terminator, the Predator, and there's another dark gene floating around as well, which makes them look a lot darker. So
Okay.
there's some neat combinations, but the mix of them together is really interesting. So we've made stuff like the genetic strike version, for instance, it is really whacked out. So that is the straight Terminator.
Oh, Predator, right?
Predator, sorry, my eyes aren't working.
I got them labeled. I only messed up one label so far.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, my eyes are starting to get hazy. It's actually
It's
4 in the
late. I
morning.
know.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
didn't
That's
even
why I'm like,
realize.
all right, let's get through
Yeah,
these.
I didn't even realize the time. It's 4 in the morning over here. Wow, the sun's about to rise. I just noticed that the lights and the frogs and the geckos have turned on automatically. So, yeah,
So
yeah.
this one
So
here is the single gene Predator, and like you were saying, there was a third dark mutation, and then I have an image of the Predator with that dark mutation that you had to share.
exactly. So it really darkens things up. The the lighter predator color is lovely and it works well. When you have the dark gene on top, it really amps things up. So trying to separate the dark gene from the predator and the terminator, we've been able to successfully separate the terminator and the predator. And now we're just trying to get some examples of the dark gene in its own merit as well.
Okay, yeah. And I like what it did there to the Predator, because if we go back here to this one,
Yeah.
hold on here, you can see like the Predator wants to kind of give you a little bit of dorsal coins, but it kind of wants to, it doesn't have any kind of consistency. It's just kind of a weird pattern if you just kind of look at it and remember it. And then we go over to this one, and that black gene just kind of, it reduces that dorsal down and creates just everything into circles. It makes everything into a circle, basically.
Yeah.
And I asked you when you were sending me these, I was like, is this a pastel blackhead predator? And that's because the light coloration coming through the alien heads that made me think like maybe there's like stacked dark genes with a pastel, but I can see at the head stamp there's no pastel. And after finding out that it was just predator plus that black gene, it made more sense because it doesn't have as reduced of a dorsal than if blackhead was in it, and it has a lot of doubling up of alien heads, which blackhead would also take away and make everything single. So if anybody's wondering that, like I did, that's the explanation.
Yeah, and it really was hard work separating the genes. Like the worst thing that you can do is breed an African to an African and see what you get. You know, there's enough
Yeah,
to
and
untangle
actually,
them.
we have a blackhead predator picture to show you that example and the comparison there. So that's the blackhead and the predator without any kind of black gene like the other one.
And it's got red and ringer in it as well.
Yeah, which probably just increases the blushing on this animal because it's so reduced in the back, you don't really see any ringer gene effect.
Yeah, you don't really. You see the blushing, and yeah, because the pattern's so intense, you don't really see it. The interesting thing about the predator gene is that with a lot of the heppides, the actual you can visually see the heads. It will produce a ringer marking and stuff. They're really neat, you know.
Yeah, I was just flashing those back and forth so everybody can see the predator plus the black gene and then the predator blackhead side by side there, little flash back and forth. So that's
Yes,
all really cool. And then the super predator, yeah, that thing is just crazy.
it really blows. You know, it's so nice. And with as it got older, it started getting more green hues coming through it as well. So
Now, could there possibly be the black gene in this animal too? Because it looks influenced the same way.
yeah, every possibility. Yeah, it looks like there is that influence of that black gene in there as
Yeah,
well.
like super
Yeah,
predator black gene.
yeah, yeah. And again, it
And
wasn't one
then
that I produced; it's one that he produced. So yeah, you can see all the greens in there in that picture.
now
It
this
looks
one
amazing.
here, I don't know if that's the same one, is it?
No, it's a different one. Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So this one looks more like the super predator lacking that black gene.
yeah. I think that's exactly what it is. So that's
And
the difference between the two. Yeah,
yeah, and
but
unfortunately we don't have like the full body picture of this one no longer, but hopefully you guys can just see the differences there. There's a lot less spacing between the alien heads. They want to be a little wider. The the blushing doesn't want to come up as high, and there's just it's a lot more it's just a lot more fill of the pattern along that snake than when it didn't have the super.
yeah, and
And
sorry.
no, you were saying the green and the flames.
It's amazing. The green is it's one of the most vivid greens that I've seen inside flaming that you could get. So it's really interesting to see that darkness going into that creamy kind of color, browny tan cream color, into that
Yeah,
green, and then into the dark again. It's really interesting.
it's
It's an
another
interesting,
interesting one for sure.
and it's
And we
untapped as well.
and then the final animal with the predator mutation before we get into the Terminator is going to be this one's suspected. Okay, so suspected Enchi predator piebald pos Terminator.
Yeah, exactly. So again, that wasn't produced by myself, but it's a beautiful looking animal, and just shows how well the predator works with the pied. I said before, the predator het pieds on their own without the dark gene actually have massive ringers going all the way through them, which is
Oh
really
wow.
really interesting. Yeah, and you can see how dark that head is. So I don't know if that one's got the dark gene in it or anything else. As I said, I took over the collection, and there was some stuff that was produced prior to me taking over the collection. Um, but from the results that I saw and what he was producing, it was very interesting to me. So I took on the project, which it's not like I don't have enough African stuff to mess about with, but I found that interesting enough to take it on because I knew that the potential is there with both the Predator and the Terminator. But I love the darkness with the Predator. But I loved what the Predator could do with Pied. You know, I think it's going to do some amazing things with Pied. It's got a
Yeah, and
real
it put a lot of pattern with the Enchi, but it didn't allow the Enchi to overpower all the color, you know?
exactly
Which is
that. Yeah,
in my opinion, that's the biggest issue with Enchi and Pied combos, and that's why
yeah,
everybody's looking for another high pattern mutation that
yeah,
doesn't affect the color like Enchi does.
exactly. And also the pattern like Enchi Pieds have those kind of clouds on the side, whereas
Yeah,
this has really got the the stripes going across the back, which is quite sensational.
there you go, Dwight. I'll put it back up for you. Finally, a Pied, Dwight said. So we got one more mutation to get into, which is the Terminator. And for simplicity, the simplest thing we have is the pastel Terminator. So that is the single gene Terminator with the pastel, and I know a lot of people are gonna are gonna compare it to Enchi, and I think it's a comparison that is fair, but when you see it in combos, maybe there's some differences, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It really is. I mean,
So,
in its simple form, yeah. See, that's just a super version. And you can see
hmm
that looks nothing like a super NG, albeit
exactly.
the eye stripes are blown out and the pattern looks NG-esque, but it's nowhere near the same as an NG.
Exactly. And that's why I had to start off with that so that everybody can have that idea and that thought because we knew what they were thinking already, right?
It's always going to be the case. Yeah, you know, you're going to
Yeah,
see something and it looks like this, and so in your head you're going to be like, "Oh,
night, Mitzi.
it's an enchi," but no, it's actually it, just because the pattern's similar. You know, it's like saying a phantom's the same as a Mojave. No, what they do to other animals is very different, and what they do in the same allele is very different as well. You know?
Yeah, and the one thing I like about this super mutation here is if you look at the alien head going up to the dorsal and then stretching across the dorsal, it's always met um it's always met in gosh, I want to say the right word, but I can't think of it. But it's like they're directly lined up. Each alien head on each side is directly lined up.
Yeah, it really
And
is. It's very uniform.
yeah, it's very uniform and it's just they match like, you know, each side almost matches the other.
Yeah.
It's almost like symmetrical in a sense.
See, most people will look at the dorsal pattern and the dorsal like breakages, but you're looking at the side pattern, which is what I looked at as well, which is, you know, it's as you said, it's very uniform, but you can see that there's a huge side pattern there. Whereas with Enchi, you know, most of the side patterns taken away and your focus is really just on the dorsal, you know?
Yeah, and the dorsal where Enchi and Super Enchi especially wrap over the dorsal, it shrinks and thins the negative space and it really fattens the pattern wrapping over the dorsal, whereas this super it thins as it crosses the dorsal, you know?
Yeah. And also the head stamp. Look at the head stamp. There's no Enchi head stamp at all on there.
Yeah, I love how it has the little bar pattern across the neck like a collar.
Yeah, they have that, you know. He wants to go to a dinner party, you know. He's got his bow tie on.
Yeah, he like wants to be a Krypton for a night.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
let's see
cool.
the next one here. So we have the Pastel Super Terminator, and then this one is in some regular lighting.
Yeah,
So you can see, you know, once you get pastel into it, I think that's where the color draws more towards an Enchi, but without the pastel, it doesn't look anything like an Enchi, like color-wise.
yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, the pastel is obviously a pattern and a color move.
And look at the head stamp. The head stamp almost looks like a pastel Enchi spot nose head stamp with like the four dark spots, like a bumblebee head stamp almost, with like the four dark
Exactly.
spots and the blushing.
Yeah,
And that's unique because Enchis have more of the butterfly look on the back of their head when you mix pastel in.
Yeah, butterfly stroke cross. Yeah.
Yeah, the cross, the butterfly wings, whatever you want to call it. So that's really interesting. I got one more pastel super terminator, and this one is a little bit more reduced or magnified as far as the alien heads go, and a little more reduced as far as the blacks and negative space go. But do you think that's just variation, or do you think this one has blade in it, or what do you think made it more reduced?
I just think it's variation. I just think it's just the gene. It's just variation. I mean, the head stamp is different on it as well, so it may have the dark gene in it as well. That's the only
Oh, okay.
variation I can actually think of because that was obviously mixed in from the beginning to both genes. So that's the only thing I could have put down with what could be the difference with this one and this one.
Yeah, those two, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that. Maybe that's the black gene in here intensifying those contrasts and kind of squaring and blocking off that pattern more, which it did in the other kind of combo in a way. So
Yeah.
maybe either
Yeah.
one or the other has it. Who knows if it's this one or the other one? Maybe it's the other one because the other one had more darkness and not as much brightness.
Yeah. I
Hard
mean,
to call.
I'm going to work it more, but there's definitely been some great results with the Terminator and the Predator stuff. And, it's just working the gene. I've got down to having some that I know exactly what they are. So we are going to be releasing some this season. But yeah, it's definitely a gene that when people say that they want something new and they can't afford something new, they want to work with a gene. That's the type of gene that you want to work with because it hasn't been done with. I think it would be great again with Desert Ghost, even with Hypo. You can see all the complexes that I work with, but it hasn't even been done. Predator's been done with clown. I've got a predator clown here. If you want to see a predator clown, it's fantastic. Um, there's a lot still to be done with it.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's show off this one last picture. And if you still have the animal in this last picture, we want to see this animal and the predator clown to close out the episode. So
Okay.
let's go ahead and show this. This is a combination of the Terminator and the Predator. Let's see if you can guess the other mutation. Where is it?
And I played the guessing game too.
I just gotta get it to pop up. That's all.
It came up.
Did
So
it?
yeah.
Oh, okay, there it is. For me, it just takes a while. I don't know. So let's see what the comments are saying. Take a guess. Will, what's up? How's it going tonight? What do you think is in this besides Terminator and Predator? If you want to run and grab those snakes while I'm waiting to see if they answer, that would be a good
Yeah.
time.
So to grab the clown, and I've got another one that I haven't shown us yet.
Okay.
I can grab that if you want. That's
Yeah,
really
let's do those two.
lovely. Yeah.
So any guesses as to what else is in this combination? Predator, Terminator, and what else? It really, Predator and Terminator stacked into this single mutation really distorts it and throws it off, but the head stamp should give it away. Yeah, crazy head stamp. Can anybody guess what the head stamp is from? There we go. We got the winner in the house. Slay with the answer, spot nose. So this is the spot nose Terminator Predator. And I'm sure Mills would say there's a possibility it's got the black gene in it. Who knows? We'll have to ask him. But I don't see any influences of what that black gene would do if there even is a possibility. So I do think that this would just be the Terminator Predator spot nose as he ID'd it. Really interesting. Spot nose typically has a very striped dorsal, a dorsal that is a distinct tan color when compared to the alien heads, and a much more uniform sequence of alien heads going down that match up on the other side as well. But with this combination, you lose that distinction between the dorsal stripe and the alien head coloration. There's still some, but it's just not that distinctiveness. It's more so like in the neck, you see a little bit of that tan. You lose the striping and you get the banding, likely from the Terminator, and then the Predator. Man, that's got to be what's just like chopping everything up and making everything that wants to be blocky turn more bubbly and not stretch over the dorsal as often. But super interesting battle, just like you're saying there. Super interesting battle between the genes that want to add pattern and one that wants to reduce it. Exactly. So I'm excited to see these animals that he's grabbing, and it looks like he's back.
Right, he's back. Okay. I don't know if this will work. If this will work.
Perfect.
Yep. Okay. So this is with all three genes in it. So this is a dark gene predator terminator. And the
Interesting.
fight is fantastic. All three genes stacked upon each other. That plain head, so no entry head.
Yep. Yeah, but you can see the Terminator influence in the pattern, wanting to magnify the size of the pattern and shrink the space of the black between the pattern. The black gene just throws contrast overall and wants to open up the dorsal more like a blackback.
Yeah. So
Predator's
it's
harder to see, but it's just probably like playing into that contrast and that head, the head
all the
color.
blocking. The Terminator with the Predator turns the alien heads into more blocks, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed about the spot nose Terminator Predator was like I noticed the Terminator wanted to play into the spot nose, wanting to block and square off the pattern and reduce it all, but the Predator wanted to like kind of chop it off and like bubble it off and things here and there.
Exactly, yeah. So it's kind of like a fight happening. So the Predator wants alien heads and like sparse alien heads, and the Terminator wants these blocks. So then it's kind of like the alien heads are turned into blocks, but they've all come together, you know. And then you got the
Hmm.
darkness in it as well.
For sure, Dwight. The head was the only thing that said spot nose.
Mhm.
And
And then
Mark says, what does a new gene like the Predator or Terminator going to start out at price-wise?
we're starting out at well, it depends on which one and so on and so forth, and which sex, but we're starting out around $1,900.
Yeah, and that's
So it's a fair
probably in a
price.
combo, not just like a single gene, correct?
Yeah, so it might be a Terminator Predator. Something that will be pretty decent. Yeah, it's not just going to
Yeah,
be a straight one. Yeah, I mean, for a straight one, we'll be talking about, you know, 1,300-1,400 bucks.
yeah, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, so
Especially for something that just, it definitely works.
yeah, and it's something that's new, and you can experiment with whatever you want. You know, you
Yeah,
can get further in this gene than I can, quicker than I can, because I've got so many other genes going on. So you can produce more sensational stuff
for sure.
than what I can, at a faster rate, which is something that is a dream for a lot of people. You know, so I've got to concentrate on like
Yep.
Bambino and all the other genes. So for me, I'm still working this, but working it more in the background where I'm working the females more than I'm working the males, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Yeah, I can see
I've got
that. That
yeah.
there on the right is the spot nose combo, right?
Uh, I'm not sure exactly what this is. This is
It's
unusual.
it's gotta be a spot nose combo. It's got something eliminating the head stamp. It's
It
it's
really does.
something is fading the head stamp to where it's not prominent anymore like a typical spot nose, but like I still see all the other spot nose um
Trade.
features and traits. Yeah,
Yeah.
like even in the eye stripes where they like kind of bubble, have like the edges on the eye stripes and stuff, and then in the pattern, like I really see it in the pattern. It seems like it's not a leopardy mutation, but it's similar to the interaction between spot nose and leopard down by the tail, where it's like real blocky with the dorsal stripe. It's weird.
This,
So
yeah,
tell us.
popped out. This was meant to be um, the was meant to be Terminator Predator to Terminator Predator breeding, but we've got this thing that popped out and have no idea what it is. It's just weird. I know it's definitely got Predator and Terminator in it,
Okay.
but why it's turned out so weird in comparison to the rest of the clutch, I just don't know. It's a
So
real
it
normally.
could
You know,
I'm definitely seeing possibilities of super predator there.
it could well be a super predator
It could be a double
Terminator.
super. Yeah,
It,
it could be the double
yeah,
super.
yeah. It
And
could
I
well be.
mean, it very well has visual appearances that it could be as well.
Yeah, I think it could be a super. If it's anything, it could be a super predator Terminator, maybe with the dark gene in it. Again, this is what's beautiful about it. This is ground zero when we're working this type of project. We're really starting from the base and moving upwards. And I've still got to work things out. This popped out from that breeding, and
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. So now I've got to reverse engineer this. I've got to breed it to something simple and find some results. I would have preferred it if this was a simpler breeding. Again, I didn't do this breeding; one of my business partners did, and I would have preferred it to have been a simpler breeding. But curiosity kills the cat, and we wanted to see what a super predator, super terminator looked like, and so I said, "Go ahead and do it."
Yep.
Um, but yeah, that's what we got, and I think it's a beautiful looking animal. Really,
It's
is striking.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's
I just
different and it's unique in a lot of different ways.
and as you said, it looks spot nose, but there's no chance of being spot nose in there.
Yeah. And now
So
that makes me wonder, right? If it's a super predator, is the predator in the spot nose complex?
who knows?
Because it
Still,
because a lot of supers from the complex that are viable end up looking more spot nose in combos, or end up looking more like, you can see them more easier typically. I don't know how to say it,
yeah,
but
yeah, but it does. It has that spot. It's exactly what I said.
but
I
like
turned
if you
around and
look
said,
at if you look at like a Cypress has some spot nosy features to it. If you look at a um I don't know. There's just so many things you can relate in that complex. Like that has some spidery features, that has some spot nosy features, but I'm
yeah,
saying like spidery features in like a combo I've seen.
yeah, yeah, of course, yeah, yeah,
But it resembles the complex is all I mean.
yeah, absolutely. It really does. Yeah, it's a weird, a beautifully weird looking animal, which is great. If we don't do these type of experiments, we won't know. I mean, if it is a super on either side, I'm happy with the result. Then where to take it from there? We know that it works well with a super, whether it's Super Terminator or Super Predator. Mixing them together works well. So we just got to carry on plugging away and working
Have a
on this
go one,
project.
Jeff.
But there is a hell of a lot of potential with this project. Is all I'm saying. And
Definitely.
it's a. Uh, I think for something that looks quite simple in its natural form, again, there's great things that can be done thinking outside the box, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, let's get that camera back on your face. Let's say goodbye
Okay.
to these people because it's been a freaking amazing episode. I've had a great time with you. Thank you to Jamie for joining us as a guest host tonight and just being there for me to pick at with questions of his thoughts and everything. And we appreciate his questions and what he added to the conversation as well. My takeaways from tonight's episode are I need a lot of new mutations. I really love the Masai and I really love the Rust mutation. I'm really excited about the Ultramel complex going forward, and I'll put that in quotations for now. And I truly believe that this is the start of 2026, which is a new future, and we're going to be producing a bunch of crazy new stuff going forward, and this is all just insight into the possibilities of what is to come.
Absolutely. And thanks for, shining light on these things as well, because most people don't even know about them, let alone are willing to sit there and talk about them and spend so long to discuss these matters. So I really appreciate your time and doing all this and breaking things down as well for everyone. So it's great. It's been a pleasure to be on here with you, as it always is.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to host you as always, too. So, everybody at home, thank you for joining us, sharing in the excitement and everything that we were able to put out there tonight on the table first for the first time ever. We hope everybody watching had fun, learned a ton tonight, gained some inspirations for some things they're hopeful to see in the future coming out of these projects. And we hope that you desire to get these mutations into your collection in the future when they become more common on the market, so to say. And check out all the sponsors in the beginning of the show. If you missed any of this episode, make sure you definitely go back and catch it because I know you missed something good. And we'll see you guys next week.